Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of The Weekly Planet where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. My name is James, also known as Mr. Sunday, and with me, as always, Nick Mason's here.
It's great to be here.
Who I have mad respect for.
Thank you. You were saying that earlier. He was even saying that off air, folks.
That's not true, actually.
No, he did. He opened the door and he said, Mason, I've got mad respect for you. That's what he said.
Why would I do that?
And then you did that disrespectful thing where you crack open a can
Why
of soda.
Why is it disrespectful?
I don't know. It just feels like it is.
Is it disrespectful to be caffeinated on a podcast? Or am I giving everybody the best version of myself?
That's actually true, yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, that's the only way we remain, alive and awake on these podcasts.
Even though you've questioned my ability to do a podcast or open a can, I still have mad respect for you, though.
Thank you.
I need you to know that. Okay.
God, what an impenetrable layer of an intro this is. It doesn't make any sense. It makes zero sense.
Doesn't need to. But we are going to be talking about this week, Mason.
I should say also.
Oh, yeah?
You also get the can and you can seal it under the table. Because what I was thinking, just as this podcast started, what I would do is I was thinking as soon as you hit record, I would grab the can and I would crack it open so you can't do it. But you're a step ahead. You're a step ahead and you keep it under there so I can't even see it. God, you're good.
Yeah.
Mad respect.
Thank you.
Mad respect goes both ways.
It has to.
I think that's the message of this podcast. Mad respect goes both ways.
But only if someone has mad respect for you.
That's true.
So one of you has to say it first in the hope that the other person has mad respect. Look, it doesn't matter. Mason, we're going to talk about The Boys episodes 1 to 3 this week.
If you're out there and you're in school and there's a girl you like, you should go up to him and be brave and say, listen, I got mad respect for you.
Mad respect, yeah.
And just hope she says it back.
Yeah, I love that. Don't worry about it. Also in the news leading up, and there'll be time codes below, Rob Collins, who edits this, he takes care of all of that. We're going to be talking about the passing of Comictorian Ben Potter, which is very sad news. We're going to get into Blade. So there's movement on the Blade front, Mason.
No, there isn't. There's backwards movement.
It's still movement.
There's a moonwalk.
There's
a moonwalk, which is ironic for Blade.
It looks forward.
But it's also a moonwalk.
Yeah, okay.
And vampires famously fear the moon.
And he's also he's in the Midnight Suns.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
That's why the vampires are always out at night.
They're always running around.
They're fleeing the moon.
We're also going to talk about Dwayne Johnson's new deal at Disney.
What?
Release dates for The Penguin, an update on The Batman Part 1, 2 and 3.
Which parts?
Just don't worry about it. Creature Commandos got a release date.
Oh, it got a release date.
Trailer for Watchmen. Watchmen is back.
What?
Who watches the Watchmen trailer? Furiosa being pulled from cinemas. J.K. Rowling potentially selling Harry Potter to Warner Brothers. And, of course, Zack Snyder himself. Some Rebel Moon updates.
I love that.
Yeah, and it's big in news. Big in news, Mason.
It's big and news.
And we have mad respect for him.
That's so true.
All right, we've got to start with this.
Do we?
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we might.
Yeah, he's doing it.
He is doing it.
Can't argue with that.
You can't argue with results.
No.
You can't argue with Rotten Tomatoes scores. You can, and people do.
Oh, yeah.
Always, constantly.
So, yeah, this is really sad news. So, Ben Potter, who people would probably know as Comictorian, he passed away in a car accident at age 40 last week. So, Comictorian, and if you listen to this, you're probably aware, he's got a YouTube channel where it's basically breaking down various comics and various runs, and just over the years. He's been doing it for 10 plus years. Hugely successful.
I would say very responsible for introducing a lot of people to comic books
Absolutely,
in general.
yeah.
Because they can be quite impenetrable a lot of the time. You've got 50, 60, 70 years of comic book history or what have you, and he was very good at sort of breaking it down and being like, if someone was like, I'm interested in, Daredevil or what have you, he'd have a brief and entertaining rundown of that character, and then you'd be like, oh, no, I feel I can do it now,
Absolutely, yeah. He was really good at, not only introducing comics, but also his community was great as well. I think similarly to this one, there is that idea that, you don't need to know everything about comics. Everybody starts somewhere.
That's
so
true.
It was very accessible in that way.
You start by knowing everything, James.
Oh, yeah, you just start by knowing everything. Yeah. No, you're right. I'm just going to read this message from his wife, Natalie Potter. So 2 days ago, on June 8th, my husband, Ben Potter, passed away in an unfortunate accident. To many of you, he was Comictorian, voicing stories from across multiple different mediums. To his loved ones, he was one of the best and most supportive individuals anyone could have asked for. As a husband, a son, a brother, a friend, or even just as a stranger, Ben was loving and genuine. He was someone who would listen and make time for his loved ones. He would do his best to make everyone laugh and make sure they were okay. He was our rock, and he'd reassure his loved ones whenever they needed it. He was my world, and I need time to be with my friends and family. I have so many things I need to figure out, but firstly, I need to grieve. I ask that you respect my privacy as well as everyone else's. Right now, my priority is preserving everything he's built, and I don't have any plans beyond that. His channel was one of his greatest accomplishments, and while we all need time to mourn him, I know he wouldn't want it to end like this. Ben spent over 10 years spreading his love and appreciation for his hobbies. It went through his love of exciting stories and well-written characters that got him started on YouTube. The team and I want to keep that going, to honour him by continuing to tell great stories by great people, as well as to keep the memory of our very own superhero alive. We supported each other on everything we wanted to do, and I'm not about to stop now. So, yeah, that's a beautiful message from Natalie.
Great.
And just the outpouring of messages, like it's not only from other people who are on YouTube, but also like comic creators and just the community in general it's been really fantastic. And it's a shame. I mean, he knew like that he was loved, and he was always very popular at cons and whatever. Yeah, it's a shame that he didn't get to see this. You know what I mean? And,
that's
and
true,
the impact that he had. I knew him a little bit. Like we did, it's like a few like podcast collaborations. This was years ago. He was always very fun and courteous and enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Like he was a genuinely good dude. I didn't know him like in person, but obviously we'd spoken online. Sal from Comic Pop was really close with him, left a beautiful message. Rob from Comics Explained, they kind of came up together. He did a video on his YouTube channel about him, which I suggest people check out. Yeah, everybody just spoke really highly of him. And
it's very easy, I think, when we're doing stuff like this or talking about comic books or superhero movies or whatever, to get very cynical about that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
or to focus on the negative. But I think, like generally speaking, focused on the positive and made it kind of an inviting world to jump into. So.
Absolutely, and I think that enthusiasm was so important. It wasn't, and look. It's easy to fall into like, oh, this sucks and whatever. And
there's a new writer, it sucks.
Yeah, and talk about
they changed the thing and it sucks.
Yeah, and not to say that everybody doesn't do that at some point, but it was really what he did was like a celebration of comics in all its like different forms and over the decades and also in his personal life. I mean, I know Rob from Comics Explained tells a story about how he brought him out of a really dark time and he always had time for his friends and all of that. So yeah, just really sad, honestly. Yeah. So, just bad stuff.
Just bad stuff, James.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we turn this around?
Yeah, let's turn it around, Mason. So this is via the Wrap. So according to an insider with knowledge, getting
that's the best kind of insider.
I agree.
We asked an insider. They didn't know, but they said they'd guess. They'd have a crack at it.
Blade, the movie Blade, announced in 2019.
Not simply the concept of a blade.
No. Is much more important than getting the film out. So getting it right, is more important than just pushing the movie out.
Okay.
They are now onto their sixth writer. The original director, of course, Basim Tariq, he left over creative differences.
Oh, but they've got a new director.
Well, they have a new director. But
they continue to have a new director?
Mason, Yan Demange, he stepped away. He's gone. This doesn't have a director.
What do you say? You're using some odd language there. He stepped away?
Well, it says...
He simply stepped away from his... Did he step away from the scene to sit in his director's chair?
No, Mason.
I'm going to contemplate some more directing I'm going to do on this movie.
Despite having a release date of November 7th of 2025.
December? You don't know any of these facts.
I know some things.
This insider doesn't know nothing.
It doesn't.
Oh, it's coming out in December, I think. Yeah, I'm on the set. I'm here.
November 7th of 2025, it's coming out apparently, despite not having a confirmed director. Jeff Snyder said Mahershala Ali had grown frustrated with the director and apparently he's difficult to work with. I mean, who knows what that means?
Yeah.
Like people can be frustrated with each other and it's the first person to say it could be the one that's true. That's the story.
Yeah.
So this is, I mean, I do get the sense from what we've seen over the years that this is a passion project for Mahershala Ali and also Marvel, and they really want to get it right.
Right.
But they seem to just be tripping over themselves to get to that point.
I wonder what the stumbling block is. Do you think, like if someone says, oh, the director's difficult, is the director difficult or is the director facing difficulties from someone above them? Is it a case of like, well, look, we're going to have this ongoing Blade story, but you need to put in the references to the Black Knight, and you need to put in references. We're going to bring back the Eternals, so you better make a reference to that. Oh, and we're going to have the sequels. We're going to have Midnight Sun. So if you could, we're going to put that scene in, obviously, Yeah. And I'm wondering if everybody might be struggling with that.
Absolutely. And you want to kind of get it right because there already is like a Blade legacy. Well, they could call this Blade Legacy.
Blade Legacy Origin Zero.
And it's like, it's well
it's got
regarded.
zero sugar.
Yeah. It's also, it does feel like it is the birth of like the modern Marvel movie, the MCU stuff. It took a lot from Blade. Like the direction of that franchise. I mean, being difficult could be
it was always ice skating uphill.
Exactly. Well, how I imagine difficult when I think about a director on set or trying to make something happen.
You're picturing he's wearing a sort of like Jodhpur-style pants.
Yeah, he might
Like
be.
they're sort of blooming out at the
Yeah,
the
they're big,
thighs.
yeah.
And he's got like a beret and a cigarette and a holder.
Yes.
And he's got like...
It's a megaphone, but it's not...
It's just cardboard.
It's just a cardboard. It's just yelled into a tube, basically.
Yeah. Did that even work?
But that's not even the difficult part. The difficult part I'm imagining is that there was a bucket of loose, like wet cement, and he put his foot in it. He didn't realize, and it had dried.
Oh, yeah, okay,
and now he's just clunking around with this bucket of cement.
God, that
on
would
his
be
foot.
difficult, wouldn't it?
Can you imagine trying to get to a meeting?
Yeah.
And you've got a bucket of cement.
That's right.
On your foot?
Yeah.
Like, how would you even do that?
Well, you'd have
They'd have to let you go.
Well, you'd have to first. I mean, I imagine you would hope that the meeting is somewhat close by, and then you could yell into your cardboard tube. It's a bit like a megaphone. It'd be like, "I'm running a little bit late because I stood in a bucket of cement and it dried."
Yeah.
And I'm clomping and clamping about like some sort of cement-legged pirate.
Could have one on each foot.
That's right.
We don't know.
And there's just there's, all your extras are there and everybody's dressed like Errol Flynn with a little tweedly mustache,
man. They're yelling cut and like not happy with it.
And there's alarms going ding, 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 ding,
and the actor's like, I can't bloody work like this.
People are lifting up the walls of the set and moving them around.
Yeah,
and,
the actor's doing an accent, but then they cut the actor slips into their normal accent.
Yeah,
they go, I can't bloody work like this. They can't do it.
God, it must be
They don't work with amateurs.
Be crazy on the set of Blade.
And he's got that bucket of cement on his foot.
Bucket of cement on his foot. Exactly, yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's probably something like that.
Yeah. Leading ladies there. She's like, oh,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyways,
this is my first role in Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a dog-eat-dog industry,
That's exactly right.
That.
Yeah.
We know that.
Exactly. And Harry Styles is there as Eros.
Eros is there.
The Eternal of Love. He's there, He
was in that movie.
He's waiting for his cameo.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a good movie, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And they have to get in Willie Lumpkin. He's got to be there.
He's there too.
That's right. God. Excuse me, I got some letters for Blade. Vampire Hunter.
Blade. Classic Blade.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, this actually says blurred. This
Blurred lines?
Yeah, yep.
Oh, no, it's the lyrics to Blurred Lines?
Yes, it is, yes.
Okay, great. So anyway, we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
This could fall apart completely, right?
Yeah, like those sets.
The actor could
He's
leave.
probably like, I'm finally going to get you, Dracula, and it's just the wall of the set falls down.
Just as
cut, bring, etc.
Yeah, so on.
The thing we said happens
work
again.
like this.
Yeah, that's right.
So on.
Oh, it's my first role in Hollywood.
Clunk, clunk.
Clunk, clunk. Yep, that's right. Every day on this bloody set.
I don't know how they do it.
No.
Anyway, this is why Variety. Dwayne Johnson and Danny Garcia's $7 production. We talked about them recently. It's the Rock's production company. They've signed a first look deal to develop theatrical and streaming films over at Disney.
Disney?
Now, this isn't strictly limited to filmed content, if that's what you're thinking.
Live theatre?
Yeah, live
Is The Rock going to do some
I'll
dinner
tell
theatre?
you why. No, you're going to love this.
The Rock's going to do dinner theatre at that exclusive club in Disneyland where you can drink.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Club whatever it's
Club
called.
33, I think it might be called.
We talked about it in Big Sandwich stuff. While details weren't immediately discussed, Variety is.
I just want a deal. Yeah. No details. Give me a deal, sign. And we'll discuss details later. That's right.
I'm big, sign it.
You know I've got mad respect for you, Disney, and I'd hope you have mad respect for me, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Variety has learned that the multi-year agreement will also give $7 a chance to collaborate across all Disney divisions. So this is what Variety is saying. Now, as you may have heard, Disney operates a parks business.
Oh, I've heard that.
A direct-to-consumer sports service.
What?
The NBC, whatever it is.
Oh,
ESPN.
okay, ESPN. Right, okay, sure. Oh, yeah, I guess. I thought you meant some sort of live thing.
No.
Like betting on the dogs.
They probably do have betting on the dogs.
Except it's Goofy and Pluto.
Yeah,
it's a fight to the death.
Yeah. God.
The loser dies, the winner gets allowed to talk.
Does a stand-up dog man beat a regular dog?
No.
Yeah, the dog would win,
Dog would have savagery.
Yeah, but the man dog has weapons, presumably.
Yeah, but I reckon Pluto probably has like a greater muscle density. I think he would win.
Also, he's pretty cunning in himself because he's a cartoon dog. He's not a real dog.
Plus, again, if he wins, he gets to talk. Which he can. To be clear, Pluto can talk. He just doesn't because he's not allowed.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Only the top dog in Disney is allowed to talk.
We'll talk about the boys later. There's a bit of that there, isn't
right.
there? Mm-hmm. You want to see Johnson's smirking face on the Jungle Cruise ride? Then stop off. Shut up. Then stop off for a Dole Whip infused with Tiramana tequila. What about a rock? Shut up. Shut
if
up.
anything the other way, I'd want to get drunk before I went on the Jungle Cruise
You can
ride.
do that.
I guess.
What about a rock-branded boot camp class to
Boot
tone up?
clamp?
Yeah.
Are you talking about a big bucket of cement that you put your foot in and it dries?
Yeah.
And it's got the Rock's face on the bucket? And then you walk around Disneyland with a bucket because it's an extra challenge
That'd
for
get
you?
you ripped.
Makes you feel alive because you're one of those Disney adults who goes to Disney every day and you're like, oh, there's still an emptiness inside me. I better put a clamp on.
Mason, you know my wife's in Europe for 2 weeks. You know my brain isn't working. I feel like you're not having mad respect for me right now.
Okay, all right. Okay, anyway, the Rock stuff.
What about a rock-branded boot camp class to tone up your dad bod? What? That's pretty mean.
That is me.
Well-
Plus, all the Disney adults get plenty of exercise.
Yeah.
They're walking around the park.
Or the kids hit the water slide on Disney's Titan liner. The possibilities could be endless in the context of the deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
What
I
about...
want to go on the water slide. I get fit before I go on holiday. I don't go on holiday and then do boot camp.
Right.
I'm not a fucking idiot. You do it the other way. You do it in the few months leading up, you know?
And then you wreck
Cut your
yourself at the
calories.
Disney park.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You cut your calories. You know, you get more cardio in. You try to lift heavy to maintain your muscle mass. And then you blow out.
You go to Disney World and it's just churros all day. And like everything slurry out of a machine
God.
in a cup. And
Can you
need
imagine like a big white box and a hologram of The Rock screaming at me that I'm too fat? I don't need that.
Okay, but what if he's dressed as Jungle Cruise guy? What if he's dressed as the Tooth Fairy?
Sure.
You know?
Or Moana.
Yeah, he could be, yeah.
Maui, whatever. Mm-hmm. Anyway, this could also just be like Moana and that's it.
Now, when I imagine, I've only ever been to Euro Disneyland, which barely counts.
And I went to Japan, Disneyland, and that also barely counts.
That's right. But when I imagine like a Disneyland or a Disney World, you imagine the Disney castle and then all like, maybe there's fireworks, but there's also like hot air balloons floating around. Hot air balloon in the shape of the Rock's head.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
But just a bunch of them. And they're swarming.
On us?
Yep.
God, I love that. Yeah. I mean, we talked very recently, like a few weeks back, about the deals that people have made in Hollywood.
Yeah. And what they amount to. A
what
lot
they
of the
amount
time,
to.
nothing.
So this could literally be like Moana and nothing. Though famously, $7 Productions have never signed any kind of exclusivity thing. They always kind of bounce around different stuff, like a big balloon. Of the Rock's head.
But surely a lot of this would be new stuff, right? Because
it would be,
he wouldn't be showing up and being like, here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
Here's the deal, mad respect, more Moana stuff.
Yeah.
Because they'd be like, we own that already.
Well, they are doing more because he's doing Moana 2 and then he's doing live action Moana.
But he doesn't need to sign a deal with his production company.
No, I
for
guess
that, right?
not. Yeah, you're probably right. It's already in the... Unless this already happened prior to those things being... I don't know. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
Should we move it along to the next segment?
Yes, the Rock-themed popcorn bucket.
Oh, yeah. Which part do you eat from?
Top of his head.
Nice.
Like he's a Frankenstein. Take the top off, there's popcorn in there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Variety says that the Penguin, the series...
The rock-shaped head backpack. Think about that.
Oh, yeah. Was it real size? So it's like
No,
big,
it's bigger.
It's big for a head, but too small for a backpack. You know those backpacks you see?
No, I think it's backpack size. So it's way too big for a head.
Big.
And you're just walking down the main drag of Disney World or whatever, and there's just kids with enormous The Rock heads on their backs, you know?
Kids famously love The Rock's giant head.
Yeah.
As I can tell from all those Black Adam toys flying off the shelves.
Well, I could melt some of those down.
Yeah, true. Variety said that the Penguin will stream in September of 2024. Now, hello, my time to shine. Hello took to Twitter.
Okay.
Not a great success.
Do you have the
rate.
stats there?
I don't have the stats, but I can bring that up.
Okay, all right.
And they say that Batman Part 2 and 3 will shoot back to back.
Okay.
James Gunn was asked if this was true, and he said it is not.
So it's wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong.
It's wrong.
It was also asked if it's cancelled, because I feel like look, I don't know. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so according to Marvel Studios spoilers, My Time to Shine Hello has a 67.06 accuracy rate.
Okay, so 2 out of 3.
That's a little better than average, if average is 50, which it might not be.
Yeah, it's better than a coin flip.
Yeah.
But it's completely average for a 3-sided coin flip.
True. And a lot of the stuff would be like...
Which is heads, tails, lands directly on its side on the table and doesn't waver.
So
Which you'd think would be statistically unlikely, but it's actually...
It's possible.
It happens a third of the time. Yeah.
Like, it's like Andrew Garfield's going to return to Spider-Man. It's like, yeah, probably. You could say that. I could say that.
That's right.
Because I know it to be true.
Yeah. But Garfield's going to come to Spider-Man.
Is he?
That's unlikely.
Oh, wow.
So that's a bigger swing, isn't it?
Anyway, the Batman 2 is not
I love lasagna, but I hate the Green Goblin.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Green Goblin's a menace.
That's right.
Not like Spider-Man, who's called a menace. So, Batman 2 is not being cancelled.
Okay.
I think it could be.
Anything could be.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been a long time. It's going to be out in like 2026.
James,
the last one was 2021 or 2.
Have you ever considered using your powers for evil, James?
Yeah.
Where you could set up a comic book industry kind of insider Twitter account and just use that insight. You'd be like, I think it could be cancelled. It's cancelled. You just think about it.
Oh, yeah.
And then you just say a lie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I probably could do that.
I think you could.
All right, I will.
Oh, great.
I won't. I haven't got time for that. We do know that Creature Commandos is coming out in December.
This year?
Which will be the official first DCU thing. Not The Flash.
Whoa.
Not Blue Beetle.
Not Blue Beetle.
Not Aquaman 2.
Not Aquaman 2, The Lost Kingdom.
They tried to trick us into saying that those were part of it, but they're not.
That's right. We know the last shot of the real DCEU was Ocean Master eating that cockroach burger. That was it. A fitting finale.
Yeah. And there's rumors this week that it will feature Superman, which wouldn't surprise me because there's going to be characters in that go into live action and vice versa, etc. Speaking of DC, we got a very short 42-second trailer for Watchmen chapters 1 and 2.
That's right.
Now, they're using a 3D animation popularized more recently in the TV show Reboot. Did you ever see that?
The kids' TV series Reboot.
Yeah, the one
from the 90s. Yeah, I have seen that. Of course I've seen that.
Do you remember it?
Yes.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is it's like
Dot
that.
was there, Dot Matrix.
Yeah, okay.
And other characters.
Chevy Chase?
Chevy Chase was not in it. No, he's not.
Am I thinking of National Lampoons?
Vacation. You are thinking of that, yeah. I think the Vacation series.
The Vegas one.
Yeah, you think of Vegas Vacation.
Yeah. What if? It's kind of that what if style.
It is, yes.
And people say, why do this? I mean, we ask that question every time there's a new Watchmen anything. You know? What do you think of the animation and the look? I don't love this 3D kind of thing, to be honest.
No.
But if you want a 2D animated version of the Watchmen, there's one on YouTube. It's just the comic.
The motion comic,
if you are keen on that.
I don't think we need this, but I'm glad it's there for someone to watch.
They're putting the pirate stuff in, you reckon? Maybe the pirate stuff's live action. They'll flip it like the Zack Snyder one.
Oh, okay, maybe. Yeah, sure.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, okay.
Wouldn't that be cool?
And it's very low budget.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The sets are always falling down.
Oh, yeah.
And then ring cut.
Oh, I can't work like this.
That's right. Yeah.
It's Jerry Butler. He's back.
Yeah.
Now, we don't have any confirmation on any of the cast. We don't know if anyone's coming back from the movies or whatever. But I looked at the Rotten Tomatoes trailer. And I don't know if this means anything, but it says, check out the teaser trailer for Watchmen Chapters 1 and 2 starring Adam Driver. Now, that could just be a Megalopolis trailer thing that they've taken over and they've forgotten to take out some of the stuff.
Yes,
But I could see him as a comedian or basically anybody, actually, now that I think about it. It could be anybody in that, even the squid. Hello, I'm the squid. They're putting the squid back? They're putting the squid back, right?
I reckon we're in an era where it would be the squid, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So apparently there's going to be one of these. It will be later this year, and then the next one in 2025. The motion comic itself, if you look at it, it's like 5 hours long.
It is,
the YouTube one. So just read it.
It is a real release. It's not just a YouTube thing.
No, it is. Yeah, but it's on YouTube.
It is on YouTube.
You don't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay for it.
And once again, it's one voice for everybody.
Yeah.
It's one guy doing all the voices.
I would say if you haven't read Watchmen, I don't think this should be your first exposure to it. The thing about the Watchmen and the way it plays with time and just the reading itself it's a real experience.
Yeah.
And which you cannot capture in a linear in a movie where you can't stop and absorb, and it's just.
There is a reason that Watchmen remained unadapted for so many years.
Despite being adapted so much.
Exactly, poorly. And
not always.
Mostly though. And it's because the storytelling was made to suit the format of comic books. You get the comic sections and you get the prose sections and the interviews and the biographies and the pirate stuff and all that. And it all works together. And any translation by its nature has to be missing something.
Yep. Oh, speaking of missing,
yes,
Dong or No Dong, on Dr. Dong Hatton.
You would never see his dong in the animated version.
I reckon we will.
You think so?
I reckon they do an R-rated.
Whoa.
I reckon we'll see his dong.
Do you think it'll be just like a cut frame from the Simpsons movie where you see Bart's?
I don't think they'll probably use that, no.
Okay, right. I'm just saying it's there already.
I mean, The Simpsons are owned by Disney now, so...
Oh, yeah, it's true. You'd have to license it out, wouldn't you? Somebody would have to sign that contract.
Exactly.
Yeah.
God, they'd have to 3D animate that dong, though, won't they?
They're not going to. He's going to be underpants all the way.
He's going to be donged, Mason.
He's not. There's no way.
All right, let's put money on it.
Okay. $1 Earth dollar.
All right.
Yeah. You're going to get were you going to bet $1 million?
No. No.
Wow.
Why would I? That's silly. I was also going to say $1 Earth dollar.
Okay, great.
From which part of Earth?
Australia.
All right, then.
Which is the main
one
part of
gold
Earth.
coin.
Yeah, the one place that doesn't have any accents, Australia.
Actually, that would be really good because every now and then my son's school will have like a plainclothes dress day and they're like, you have to bring a gold coin. I'm like, for fuck's sake. And I got to root around the house.
You got to crack open that treasure chest of gold doubloons you have.
Exactly. You know it. You know it, Mason.
You know, and then you tip it and you spill it and it's like, ring cuts. You know, and
I can't work like this.
Exactly, the set falls down.
Here's my real accent. I can't work like this. That's how I really talk.
Yeah.
Wow. Mason, this is via the Hollywood Handle. I saw this.
Okay.
Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, has been removed from 880 theaters across the US only within 2 weeks of its release. The film has earned apparently
$8.
Last weekend it earned $4.2 million. As in not this weekend, just gone the one before, leaving it in the top 5.
Top 5's not nothing.
This is a disaster.
It seems like a disaster,
This is a bad thing.
Yeah.
We're never going to see another Mad Max movie. Unless it, you know what? It could do well on streaming and whatever. I mean, I know we say, like, don't pull things from cinemas.
We do say that, but nobody listens to us.
But also, like, what could they do at this point? I mean, we said the other day, and I still stand by that, you have to just stop releasing things on streaming. You got to wait a really long time and like, retrain people to go to, they have to go to cinemas if you want people to go to cinemas.
Yeah.
But I don't. Also, there should be theater ads where there's an ad and just goes, just go down to the supermarket before and get your popcorn and treats. Just tell this time. It's just going to be.
You think so?
There's going to be a bunch of ads. Just duck out. Go down to Coles.
Just grab the guy at the front won't check.
Nah, just get a packet of Skittles and whatever.
It's cheaper there. Yeah.
Maybe a big Fanta.
Get a big Fanta.
A big warm Fanta.
Get a big warm Fanta. We don't mind. Let's all go to the lobby and get a big warm Fanta. Ugh. And there's just a picture of a kid going like, ugh, I guess.
It's too big too. I don't want this much Fanta.
So you're saying that the cinemas should say, they should let people indulge their worst impulses. They should be like, yeah, be on your phone if you want. You can please come to the movies. You can be on your phone if you want. You can sit in any seat you want. We're going to sell assigned seats, but you can sit in James's seat if you want. And there's like a surveillance photo of you. Like it's dark, but somebody's taking a photo of you with a flash on. And you're like, ugh.
I got a big warm Fanta.
Yeah, you got a big warm Fanta. You got a big warm Fanta, and you're sitting in somebody else's seat because somebody was sitting in your seat. So you're already annoyed, but now you're annoyed and confused. And it's a photo of that, and it's like you can sit in this guy's seat. What's he gonna do?
I want to preserve the cinematic experience.
Can't.
That's all.
You can't have it both ways.
I can actually.
I don't know if you can.
This thing is, you can't charge that much for tickets, and then also additionally charge that much for food.
That's true.
People don't like it, and they've never liked it, but it's worse than ever.
What about buy a ticket, free Choc Top?
It's a great deal.
It is a great deal,
Remember when movies were
It is a great deal that I've invented.
Yeah, $5 on a Tuesday. It's good stuff, man. Yeah. I just stopped buying. Well, I don't even buy. I only really might get a popcorn if my kids are there. Like, I don't buy cinema food.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of cinemas, did you see this, James? This is a bit of news.
I love news.
Did you see that Sony...
This is Mason's one bit of news, that famous segment you stopped doing for 6 months?
Yes. Because we got tired of doing the bit.
Yeah.
This is from the Hollywood Reporter, James, and I've just remembered it. Sony Pictures acquires the Alamo Drafthouse Cinema.
Oh, yeah.
A landmark deal that puts studios back in the theatre game. Oh. Because for more than 7 decades, studios weren't allowed under certain conditions to own an exhibition company under the Paramount consent decrees, which were rescinded in 2020.
I find it laughable there was ever any rules that people couldn't own something.
Right.
Because that's just all out the fucking window, isn't
it is, isn't it? Yeah. So in 1948... the United States Supreme Court were like...
communists.
Exactly. They went to Paramount and they're like, you can't make films and also have a bunch of cinemas.
Yes, I can.
Well, they couldn't for a while.
Okay.
Yeah. So how do you feel about this? Is this the way to preserve cinemas? Like if Sony, a company with a lot of money who love making bad decisions, if they want to do this to keep them alive, do you think it will?
I don't know.
People like the Alamo Drafthouse, I think. I don't know.
They seem
I've
to,
never been to one.
I don't know. I've never heard something like this happening and then it's good, ultimately. So, look, no, it's probably bad, but I don't know. I think people don't know what to do. So they're all panicking. It's like the board has been flipped and the pieces haven't hit the floor yet. Right. So we just don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, that's very true, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this will be a big opening weekend for Kraven the Hunter, though, won't it?
Yeah,
because it'll be exclusively Kraven in the Alamo Drafthouse. Every screen will be Kraven the Hunter.
Can't wait to watch Kraven the Hunter in Sony cinema.
Yeah,
Kraven,
my son. You must learn to kill.
But
I'm the Russell Crowe.
But I want to love animal. No, you can't.
Okay.
He just slips into his regular accent. Nah.
My scarf is 100% dodo bird. I kill all the dodo birds.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I'm Kraven Senior. I'm Russell Crowe.
You're craving seniors, are you?
No.
Rude.
Different thing.
Mason.
Yes, what?
J.K. Rowling might move on from Harry Potter.
Oh.
So this is via Industry Insider.
To do her famous Cormoran Strike detective series?
Yeah. You
Great.
familiar with that? How many have you read?
None. Did you know there's also a TV series?
No.
There is.
What's it on?
I don't know. I think I've just remembered this. I think it might just be called Strike.
The British bullshit streaming network?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I love that one.
Tip Top Tetley Tea TV. That's what it's called. Strike.
Jason Strike.
I'm Jello. Yeah, it's a British crime drama television series.
You've got me all in a tizzy. I'm Jason Strike.
That's right. The program, 2 M's and an E, was first broadcast on BBC One in 27 August 2017.
What?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
5 series.
What?
15 episodes.
Oh,
it's British.
It's British.
It's
yeah,
British,
okay.
yeah.
There's Sherlock in it.
Yeah, Sherlock in it, yeah.
Yeah.
Cormoran Strike.
Love it.
Tom Burke?
Who's he?
Praetorian Jack from Furiosa.
Oh, that's cool.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it cool?
I like him.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch this show
yeah,
now.
no, you're not.
No.
You're absolutely not.
I'm never going to watch it. You're right. You're right. Anyways,
Yes.
Industry Insider Jeff Snyder said...
from the Insider, your
That's
mate.
right, that's right.
This is 2 hits from Jeff Snyder this week.
He's doing a lot of work. He's doing a lot of heavy lifting.
A lot of lying.
Maybe. It says
Guessing.
that Warner Brothers Discovery has already attempted to buy Rowling out of their co-owned franchise. This feels like Rowling squeezing as much juice as she can from the Harry Potter orange before WBD inevitably buys her out to get rid of her, as the original stars won't return while she's still around. This to me makes sense that Warner Brothers want to do this, right? I was thinking about this, right? Because she doesn't really want to do anything with it at the moment.
Right.
The Fantastic Beasts films are done. It was supposed to be 5. We were supposed to still be in it, or the last one was happening maybe now. I don't know.
Right now in the
In a
Fantastic
better
Beasts
universe.
in the Fantastic Beasts universe, World War II would be happening, and everybody would be like, "Yes,
Yeah, finally.
yes, we're doing it."
Wizard Hitler.
There it
teaming
is.
up with regular Hitler.
That's right.
Yeah. So those movies are a bust, though. They got to 3 and went, fuck it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it, actually.
Yeah,
This was dumb. Don't worry
yeah.
about
Look,
it.
there was a prophecy, but we just had 2 guys have a scuffle at the end of this one, so it counts.
Over a magical horse.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The other thing is, like, she's just terminally online,
You
just
know?
crying about trans people. She doesn't
Yeah.
want to do anything with Harry Potter. She was writing those Fantastic Beasts movies, or in the end, co-writing them. As mentioned, none of the stars want to return for The Cursed Child.
Doesn't seem that way, does
They
it?
don't endorse any of the things that she believes, most of them, for the most part. And there is this thing like, well, they're ungrateful or whatever. Just like
Who's this? Who's this voice?
people who are like, well, Daniel Radcliffe, because he got his start doing, yeah, but like that doesn't mean that she gets to like parrot opinions through him for the rest
That's
of
right,
his
yeah.
life. That's fucking insane. What are
Yeah.
you talking about? Also, they're doing a TV reboot,
That's right.
which is nobody wants that. If you're
See, that's the
No,
thing as well. No,
I
but
don't think they do.
I think general audiences do. I think many, like it's one of those things. Like the reason Harry Potter is such a huge hit is because it's not all it's just the fans. Like you need millions and millions of people to move the needle.
Exactly.
But I'm saying, well, most people don't even know about J.K. Rowling and her opinions or what have you. I think a lot of people are just like, oh, more Harry Potter, exciting.
I think you're right there, but I think also if you're a fan of Harry Potter, you'd go back to the movies.
The movies, right.
So I think like if you're a fan, you've got the movies, or you're not a fan, and you're like, why would I watch this?
I imagine like they want a big hit, but I think it could very well go the way of the Rings of Power series.
Yeah, totally.
Which happened, and people are like, oh yeah, they did do that. It's not going to be like, and it's also, I imagine a lot of people have a lot of affection for the original cast because that's what
Exactly.
they grew up with, and they'll go, are we seeing this all again? Are we?
Yeah.
You know.
I feel like even if you did it, there'd always be this cloud hanging over it, and she's constantly popping up. You know,
she is. It's true.
Just saying stuff that I don't agree with.
Interesting.
But that's my
I
opinion,
thought you
Mason.
saw both sides.
Not on this one.
Okay,
Look,
right.
Every time we bring it up, people are always like, "Well, what did she say in particular?" Like, Sean's got a video on it. There's 1,000 videos on it. You can look into on the people that she's endorsed
Yes.
and the things that she said.
Sean's a very well-known YouTuber. He's not just a guy we know.
No, he's not a guy we know.
No.
I mean, I know a guy called Sean, but I don't know if he has a solid opinion on this. You met him. You know Sean.
Do I know a guy named Sean?
Yeah, he was here the other day.
Okay, but do I independently know a different guy named
a
Sean?
guy like not through me.
I'm going to check my Facebook friends.
Okay, yeah, you do that. Check your contacts. On your
I've
phone.
got like 3 people on this phone.
Is one of them me?
Yes.
I have mad respect for that. Thank you. That you put me in there. The other thing is Warner Brothers needs Harry Potter because not only do they have the movies, there's theme parks and merch and video games, and it's all stuck because if J.K. Rowling isn't moving forward with anything, they've got this huge machine.
I know some Seans.
There you go.
But I know they're all SEANs.
Oh, yeah. That's no good then. Yeah. But they've got this huge machine. It's basically like Star Wars, but it can't move forward for various reasons.
Right.
So, like, they need to keep the fandom alive, and they can't produce new live-action stuff.
That's true, yeah.
So they need it, and J.K. Rowling doesn't want to really do anything. She'll probably just take billions of dollars and step away. The other thing is Warner Brothers needs franchises like Mad Max is a bust. The DCU at this point is uncertain. There are things like Dune's working at the moment, but Dune's not Harry Potter. There's not Dune fucking world.
That's true, yeah.
Like they need this stuff.
I mean, they are pooping in weird ways in the Dune universe, which is also true of the Harry Potter universe, isn't it?
That is true.
I mean, Dune, they're doing it through pipes and suits and whatever, and in Harry Potter, it's just on the floor.
Yeah.
Or in weird bathrooms, you know?
Yeah, in a weird bathroom with a ghost in it, staring at your dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think also if whatever way this goes, let's say she doesn't sell it, then we're stuck where we are, right?
Okay.
But if they sell it, they'll be able to probably move forward with a Cursed Child trilogy, I would say, with the original stars.
Okay.
Because also, like, there are a lot of people within the Harry Potter community and in the movies and associated with it who aren't like J.K. Rowling.
Correct.
Who, like, there are people, there are nice people, let's say, who are associated with this franchise, right? But if they sell it, she sells it, then it's a George Lucas Star Wars situation.
Right. Uh-huh.
And people aren't happy about that either. And then there's going to be, like, when the new movies do come out and people inevitably hate them and there's all the online discourse.
Yeah, right.
There'll be this revisionist history about this Fantastic Beast fucking trilogy, which sucks, by the way. And it was good for like one movie and that's it. And she'll be hailed as a hero by the true fans and whatever.
Can't
and
wait.
it's all going to happen again. So that's what's inevitably we're going to arrive at, whatever happens here. But again, Warner Brothers, they need it. J.K. Rowling isn't going to make any more movies,
Probably,
I think, because she can't.
Yeah.
And this is where we're at.
Wow.
Yeah.
I reckon everybody should just get over it.
Yeah, also
move on.
just dump it.
Yeah, just dump this. Who cares? You've got them. Everybody's got them on DVD.
Everyone's got the
Move
books.
on.
Yeah, we've got the books on the shelf.
Yeah.
You know?
It's fine.
They're
God.
Everyone's got them.
Yeah.
You know something we should never dump?
What's that?
Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon.
Also true.
And because this is exciting news, you might have seen this, but the director's cuts have been announced.
That's correct. The director's cuts have been announced of, what's the first one called? Child of Fire?
Yeah.
And then the other one, The Scargiver, but they've been renamed to trick us.
It's now called Chapter 1, Chalice of Blood.
Okay.
Chapter 2, Curse of Forgiveness.
Okay.
It is hard to forgive, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a curse in a way.
Yeah, that's right.
Out August 2nd.
They should have just been called Chapter 1, Blood, Chapter 2, Boobs. Because that's what everybody wants in these director's cuts.
Start with boobs.
Yeah, okay, right. Okay.
You
Sure,
know?
yeah. Uh-huh.
Do you? Bloobs?
No, that would just be confusing.
Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? Yeah. Well, I can't wait to see a longer version of this, which is worse, or a much better version, which they should have released the first time.
Terrific. Well, I'm excited to not watch them again because I refuse.
I know
There's no way.
I know we said we wouldn't.
Yes. I'm putting my foot down.
But what if we did?
You don't even want to do it.
I don't.
You absolutely
but
don't.
This is what we do. This is our
guess.
job.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
I know I said I didn't want to. You're not curious?
No, not really.
For content. For content's sake.
Because all it's going to be is some slightly longer scenes with some more blood.
Yeah. And more boobs. Yeah.
There's not going to be some huge narrative change or anything because there was no need to do that. It's just going to be more blood, I think.
What is
really?
it? I don't understand how we got here. Like, it's obviously like the Snyder cut kind of like that's what.
Well, I mean,
that's their
they've
thinking
gone.
here.
He's gone. This is the blueprint.
Yeah.
Like it worked last time. Everybody wanted to see a new version. So what if we started with a version that I'm going to say that I'm going to disown before it comes out, and people are going to watch that. But then,
Yeah.
you know,
Are there any people out here though, like listening to this?
Mm-hmm.
This is not an attack on you. I just want to frame it like this, just from the get go.
yeah.
Are you a fan of this, and is this right? Are you like, great, let's see this? Because also, what version is even true?
Oh, that is true, isn't it?
It's hard in your continuity. You know, what do you keep and what do you throw away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be easy to make jokes about this if I remembered anything that happens in either of these movies.
Wheat
I could be like, what if there's a
threshing.
different scene where, and I'm like, I can't even remember anything that happens.
What if a snake made a phone call to the Emperor?
Oh,
Did that happen?
Maybe. Maybe.
I remember after you watched the second one, you were like, you struggled to remember the first one.
Yeah.
And now it's been enough time where it's all gone. It's all washed away.
Just slow motion wheat threshing.
He's rubbing his eyes like he's trying to stave off a migraine.
James, I got up very early today. Oh.
Think about it. Just think about it.
There's not even an icon. There's not even, like in the first one, at least somebody flew around on a dragon or whatever.
Spider
That was
chair.
interesting.
Spider chair.
I don't remember
Spider
that.
assassination chairs. They're in the chairs and the chairs can walk and you put the thing in the
Oh,
back.
I do remember that. And there's a scene where the lead character, in the past, she maybe killed a little girl, but then she didn't.
Yeah, that was in the second one.
Yeah, that was in the second one.
She killed the Emperor's daughter.
Oh, that reminds me.
Princess.
This was going to bring up.
Yeah.
Did you see the trailer for Doom: The Dark Ages?
Yes.
Looks cool
It's
as hell,
a
doesn't it?
prequel to Doom.
Yes.
What's the deal, Mason?
So I think this is set. It'd be set after the original generation of Doom games. So after like
Yeah.
Doom 2, Doom 64, but before the Doom 2016 reboot.
Before he
'Cause-
goes into Stacy's.
Yeah, because there's like a missing 1,000 years or something
Yeah.
where he was like fighting demons in hell for a really long time.
Sick.
So it's cool. So it's the same guy.
Yeah.
But he's got a Captain America style shield that he can fling around,
Ooh.
but it's also got like a chainsaw blade on the outside.
Christian Bale, American Psycho. Ooh.
Exactly.
You know?
He's got his classic super shotgun double barreled.
Ooh.
He's got
he's got-
he's got a gun that he puts skulls in and it crushes up the skulls and it turns it into like shards that he can shoot at people.
That's cool. I
That's
like
pretty
that a
cool.
lot, yeah.
There is you can fly a dragon. You can fly around on a dragon.
So it's all set in hell?
Seems that way, or
Yeah.
like hell style dimensions.
Yeah.
Now there is some. You do see some scenes where it's like in the sort of in the clouds. So maybe that's one of the heaven style planets. But also you fight in one of the giant mechs.
Sick.
Because in the previous two games, there's been scenes where there's like you see mechs fighting in the background, or you see like the ruins of a mech.
Yeah.
Buried underground or what have you. But it's like we're
Gonna do the max.
gonna do the mechs.
So
Also, one of the I think one of the concept designers for these games worked on Pacific Rim Uprising.
Oh,
So that's a bit of fun.
I don't mind that movie that everyone hates.
Oh, yeah.
When is the first Doom set? Is that set in the 90s and the new one set like 1,000 years in the future? Is that the idea behind it?
Sorry, which one?
The new Doom. I mean, the original Doom. When's that set?
Well, they're all set in the future.
Right. Oh, okay.
But I think the idea...
Oh, yeah, because it's on Mars or whatever.
Yeah,
that's
but I think the idea is that time is all relative in hell. So he's
Yeah.
being... And he is...
1,000 years in hell isn't 1,000 on Earth. And
Maybe, but also he is immortal
oh, yeah.
because of you got put in a machine.
Sick.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's...
Hugo Martin,
Yeah.
who was the Doom creative director, was the original concept artist for the mechs in Pacific Rim.
Oh, the original Pacific Rim.
The original one, yeah.
And not Uprising.
Exactly.
Great. Anyway, that's Rebel New Moon news.
Rebel news.
Should we talk about the boys?
Let's talk about the boys.
Bit of news, though, before we get into the review, Mason.
Oh, there's new news.
The Boys is ending.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Last week or maybe the week before, Eric Kripke,
Yes.
who's the showrunner,
On Supernatural, yeah.
he said something along the lines of, I can't say. Well, actually, the news article took something he said, and they said, oh, maybe the Boys is going to continue forever. And he said, no. He said,
What are you talking about?
He said he had to keep it vague because he was still, they were negotiating behind the scenes and etc. But he said season 5 is going to be the last season. So we're just starting season 4 right now. But
That's
he
right.
said 5 is
So it's probably 2 years away, I would say, from the final
something like
season.
that.
It's
Yeah,
normally about
yeah.
that.
Which again, we've talked about this, I'm sure. But if you are making a show and everybody gets along and it seems like a good environment
Yeah.
and of course and it's successful and it's people are watching it, why wouldn't you want to continue with it? But at the same time, if certain shows, the structure of them relies on there being like a natural arc that ends.
Yes.
And if you have to kind of write your way out of that ending after a certain amount of time, it starts to feel a little bit odd.
Yeah,
and like
absolutely.
the idea behind The Boys, you would imagine, is, well, at the end, we need a definitive ending. We need a cathartic ending where, maybe Homelander loses or he wins.
Yeah.
Maybe we need something to, we need the arc to end in a satisfying way. And if you do keep dragging that out,
people are already feeling it. Like, God, how's he going to get out of this one and whatever.
And he does.
Yeah. The official announcement by Eric Kripke is The Boys Season 4 premiere week is a good time to announce Season 5 will be the final season. Always my plan. I just had to be a cagey till I got the okay from Vought.
They're fictional.
Thrilled to bring the story to a gory, epic, moist climax.
Oh, he'll say any words.
Watch Season 4 in 2 days.
Some people find unpleasant.
Because the end has begun. No one can watch this season without feeling at the end like it's ending next year, right? So we might as well announce it so people can watch it with that cool, epic head toward the end feeling, which is what I'm hoping for. So, as mentioned, we mentioned this a while back. I think a few weeks back, we were like, Season 5 seems good because Supernatural was supposed to be 5.
That's right.
And if you watch the 5 series of that,
yes,
it very much feels like that, and then it kept going. I mean,
then they fight God at like season 28 or something.
Like that, yeah. Now this will.
Well, we've defeated God. What's next? It's me, a bigger God.
Bigger God. What are you doing here? Are you God's dad? No, I'm just bigger. Are you
maybe
related?
I'm God's dad.
Are you related? I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know what they're up to.
Because I mean, you are in that cloud, and you seem far. Like again, roughly, you seem about the same size. As a previous God.
Should we do slightly bigger God this week? I mean, we did slightly bigger Galactus last week. Is this, are we leaning too heavily into this idea that there's a slightly bigger version of something?
He could be smaller.
I guess
and as a result, he's swifter.
I mean, there'd still be a bigger God, though, wouldn't there? Because the other one would now be bigger.
That's true. Why didn't that guy call himself Bigger God?
That's right. So it's
no, but I imagine
smaller God and even smaller than that God?
The first one is just classic
Regular.
God classic.
God original.
And then the other guy would be smaller but swifter,
I love that.
Because of the power scaling,
Yeah.
There's one who's more durable, but he's slower.
He's slower, yeah.
Yeah.
I get boss
That's
battles.
right. Yeah.
I'm glad this is wrapping up. I don't think
it's
will.
God with a big glowing thing on his head.
Oh, you got to shoot it.
You got to shoot the thing.
An
on his
arrow.
head, yeah.
Like Gen V is going to continue.
Yep.
There'll be other spin-offs, probably animated stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They'll pop up in video games, etc.
That's right.
So this won't end. This will be like The Walking Dead, where it will just keep going and spinning off until it can't anymore. But I like that this mainline version is wrapping up. I think watching these first 3 episodes of the new season, which they released on Thursday, it does feel like, this can't sustain.
Interesting. Okay.
Not in like a dreadful way, but it does feel like, there's not really many surprises here.
Yeah, it feels like we are heading to an inevitable kind of conclusion.
Yeah.
And to kind of divert from that suddenly would be odd, I think.
Oh, what do you think the story was?
You thought you were going to get me, but I knew.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you got?
Oh, come on.
Because you actually still have to do it.
Yeah. I mean, the first episode does have a big recap of the previous seasons, which is almost exclusively people's heads bursting.
Yeah, it's just people exploding.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the boys,
they
still want to get that Homelander.
They're out there.
But tell you what, Homelander, he's on trial.
Yes,
that murder he did last season.
Yes, he is.
In public, that public murder.
Yeah.
And but people are on his side.
They are. Some are.
So, some are. Half are on his side.
Yeah.
Half are not on his side. So the boys have got to deal with that. They've got to also deal with Victoria Newman.
Yep.
Who's in line to become the vice president.
Mm-hmm.
But she's also a soup who can burst people's heads.
A secret soup.
I love the fact that her power is just popping heads.
Yeah.
Like it's not like, well, I increase people's mental energy until no, it's just like I just burst heads. Presumably she can burst
burst anything?
She can burst anything, but she bursts heads because it's most convenient.
It's fun.
Anyway, she's secretly there, and then there's some the boys, they got troubles, don't they? Butcher's got a brain tumor.
Yeah, or something. Or just some goop in his brain.
He's got some goop in his head.
Yeah.
That's right.
From because in the previous season he was using an experimental Vought drug which gives you temporary superpowers, and they said if you use this one too many times you'll die, and he did use it one too many times because Huey used it 1 or 2 times less, and he's fine.
Yeah.
So he's on the way out.
Yeah, it's lucky that Butcher got good superpowers out of that.
Oh, yeah. You could
It'd be
get
unfortunate that he got stupid ones.
Snake acid face or
Snake
whatever.
acid face, sure.
Yeah.
Nothing, basically.
You could get nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little firecrackers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Dazzler style.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think...
And there's some new folks.
There's new folks, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do some non-spoilers and then
Okay, yeah.
spoilers. I think in the we've talked about this, but in the comic books, the pill to beat up superheroes is it's just pretty common. You can just kind of use it whenever. And
Yeah.
Like, actually, I didn't finish that comic. I kind of like went off it. I prefer the show.
Yeah.
But you just kind of have it, and then you just basically, it's
You're
like
basically a
it's the
superhero
Mortal
yourself.
Kombat, not Mortal Kombat, it's the Injustice pill so Batman can fight Superman.
Yeah, right.
It's basically that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just, I mean, for a lot of the comic book, the boys are just superheroes in all but name and costume.
Yeah.
They're just superhumanly strong and invincible, and they have guns.
That's right. Fun stuff.
But in this, they gotta use their brains more.
Yeah.
they gotta think quick.
That's
they
right.
They've gotta forge alliances, and they've gotta they gotta blackmail. They gotta bug.
They got a bug. They got to do it all. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, it opens with they're trying to assassinate Victoria Newman because the guy who's
Hello, Newman.
the guy who's going to be president is aware, and she's vice president, is aware that she's a superhero. And then he's like, well, if I become president, she'll just kill me.
And take
then
over,
she's
yeah.
the president. And that's bad news.
That's right.
So, but then realizing that like it might not be super easy to kill this person, and it just kind of goes from there. I feel like everybody kind of gets a fun little arc in this of these 3 episodes, balance it really well. I love that A-Train is filming a Blindside style movie.
Right. Yes.
Which deviates heavily from his own experiences growing up. And
Yeah.
I won't spoil it, but there's a fun cameo there where he's got a coach who's like trying to get him off the streets and all of that.
Even though that wasn't his life at all.
Yeah, like at all, yeah. Black Noir's story is great. So Black Noir's back.
Black Noir is back,
Noir's back,
yes. Because if you recall, Homelander did punch his heart out in the previous season. So, yes.
Yeah.
And but this guy's a real theater kid.
Yeah. So he seems to have like pretty much the abilities of Black Noir, but he's just constantly asking people what his motivation is and what he's supposed to do. And then like, you don't do anything.
Yeah.
Just stop.
You're just
talking.
quiet and stoic. Yeah.
I love there's a joke where he goes, I don't understand it because like I moved into his living space and he's got a dojo, but he didn't know martial arts. So I don't even understand. Like he just would like burst people with his fists. I loved all of that. We never found out who he was, did we? Because in the comic book, Black Noir is
a clone of Homelander.
Yeah. So, you know.
I don't know. I think, he's
just a guy, I guess.
Is there, I was thinking about this yesterday. Did I dream this or is there an animated The Boys thing?
There's an animated shorts.
That's what I thought because there's
Diabolical, it's called.
Yeah, because there's one that's just, it's Homelander's first mission and he and Black Noir team up.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right. I
didn't just imagine that.
No, it's real.
That's
you watched
real.
it.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of first missions, also got Homelander's son, who's now teamed up with Homelander.
Yeah.
And they're bringing him up as, I think all of that works. They're bringing up as like the new potential kind of superhero and a successor to Homelander, who is aging.
And still a jerk.
And still, he's still not very good, is he?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of parallels to the modern day, but I'd hardly get into them here, Mason. No, Eric Kripke's just been like, it's political, it's Trump.
Yeah, he's Trump now, yeah.
You don't have to watch it.
If you don't want to, that's true, yeah. Yeah, you don't have to, it's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been very overt in its political messages. And I don't know, I feel like it's so on the nose. Like, I don't know how you could not.
I feel this season is especially on the nose.
Is it more? Do you reckon it's more
Thus
so?
far, it feels like it's more leaning very heavily into.
There's a new superhero who's very much like the government's putting vaccines in our microchips,
like an Alex Jones sort of character,
Yeah, like a Marjorie Taylor Greene, Alex Jones.
Oh, yeah, right, absolutely, yeah.
Situation.
Yeah.
I like the idea, though, of an aging Homelander. And I also, you see him a few times, like, out of the suit. And, I mean, you have previously, but so in universe, he looks like a regular-ish man without the suit, and they put muscles in his suit. Because he does it. He needs to look a certain way, but he doesn't need to work out.
That's true,
So he doesn't.
Yeah. I saw one of those Men's Health videos with Anthony Starr, who plays Homelander.
Yeah.
And it was, what I eat in a day and my exercise and what have you. And I think it's predominantly to be lean.
Yes.
Because you need to be, if you're getting put in a muscle suit, you need to be lean.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're coming out in lumps and bumps. And
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
so-
Yeah, he's just slimming it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's because his dad, Soldier Boy, didn't age.
True.
Oh, but he was also frozen for a while. But no, he was.
It was experimented on by the Russians as well.
Yeah, that's true. And his mum was potentially that Nazi, maybe.
Oh.
There was like that's hinted at.
Okay,
And she's
right.
also ageless.
Right.
So it's interesting.
So
that
also
he's
the one
not.
who was his girlfriend.
Yes.
Might also be his mum.
It's-
I didn't pick up on
It's
that.
hinted at. I don't
Okay,
know
right.
whether it's actually true. She could have been like
Right.
lying about it, but yeah. And also that this is also obvious. Like he's not really blonde. They've been dyeing his hair
Right,
the whole time because they want him as like is this all American dude. I just thought that was really interesting having insight into like just the aesthetics of him and how it's all fake.
Yes.
Like it's all like he's just the powers and everything else is all the
Yeah.
images is not.
Yes.
How do you feel about the violence and the whatever and the et cetera?
Look, there's an opening sequence where the boys attempt a kind of a covert mission to poison Veronica Newman's like some of her for medication or what have you to kill her, and they go in with a couple of accomplices that are like Secret Service agents on their on their side. And as soon as those characters were introduced, I'm like, those are the two most expendable men I've ever seen on television. There is no way they're going to last this opening sequence.
You don't think they're going to join the crew?
And they didn't, and they were just their heads were torn off. I thought my first thought was I don't know what's going to happen to these guys, but it's going to use the phrase to shreds, and it was their heads were torn to shreds.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a multiple man punch up situation.
There is, that's true.
Which I enjoyed quite a bit.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm desensitized to all the gore at this point. Maybe the opening sequence where we saw the previous 2 seasons worth of people being lasered and getting their heads blown off. I mean, thus far. Well, I don't know if. Well, see, that's the thing as well. Have the previous season started off with like a very overt kind of violent
The previous
thing?
season, I think, really ramped things up where a guy climbed inside another man's penis and
then
the
he
penis
exploded. Yeah, right.
So I think that's probably
that's probably the peak of it.
The opening of this is not.
Yeah,
to
I
the
mean,
level
look,
of that.
for a minor spoiler if you haven't seen this season yet, but it opens with Victoria Newman's daughter spots the boys, in their covert mission, and her face comes open, and she's been injected with V, and she's a soup now, and so she's just got like
acid tentacles.
Tentacles coming out of her face.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I did have a moment where I'm like, is this supposed to be shocking? Like, is this like, oh, it's because it's a little girl and she's a murderer or whatever? And I'm like, no, I don't feel anything.
No, same. The most shocking part for me was the steam room scene. That was like a very unpleasant thing to look at and experience.
Right.
But that's probably more of a spoiler. Should we do some spoilers?
Let's do some spoilers. I really enjoyed it. I think, it is a series where I'm like, oh, the production values on this are really good.
Oh my God, yeah.
They've clearly, this is, I don't know. It is a cut above most Marvel television.
Oh, definitely.
As much as I hate to say it, a Disney television where it's, they're like, we got to get this right, I think. And
they're also not churning these. I mean, there's Gen V, but they're not churning them out all the time.
Every shot looks good and the effects look good. And, I mean, I guess the
fake movies they're making within it also look.
Yes, they've taken the time and all the production design looks really good. And, and everybody's got their own. I enjoy how everybody's got kind of. There's the A plot and B plot, and everybody's off on their own little adventures. And like the Deep's always got a C plot. Have you noticed? Not a C plot SEA, but like a C plot. Where
I don't know if you realize what you did. There,
no, I know exactly what I did. I'm clever. But he's always got something going on. He's not really part of the main plot. Like sometimes somebody's using him for something else, but he's always got
he's a beautiful himbo.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's also the worst.
Yeah, Chase Crawford is always working. Yeah. Working hard in his small plot in the background, and maybe he'll coalesce into a big thing at the end. But
yeah, absolutely.
He's always got a fake marriage, or he's in rehab, or
a weird sex thing.
Yeah, sure,
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm best series ever.
I agree.
It remains good fun.
It remains. Again, glad it's wrapping up at 5. So there's a few new heroes. Spoilers. There's Sister Sage.
Spoilers. It's time to spoil.
That's right. It's Sister Sage and Firecracker.
Sister Sage is the smartest person in the world, but is off
allegedly,
yeah, exactly. She's,
it's one of those things where it's like, is that true?
Yeah, well, Homelander needs new recruits for the 7 because they're down to like 4.
Yeah.
Because he killed Black Noir and others.
And Starlight left. And Maeve left. And
So he recruits Sister Sage because he needs someone who isn't just a yes man because everybody else fears being, lasered through the head.
Yeah.
Which he'll do.
Which is,
And she's running the risk all the time. But, she's clearly crunched the numbers and she's like, he won't kill me.
But he might.
He might.
There's a few moments where it's like, he doesn't like this very much, does he?
That's right.
Yeah.
And he wants her.
She's a really interesting character, though.
Yeah.
She's bad. You'd think being someone that smart, you wouldn't just do this, right?
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
But maybe, I don't know.
We don't know.
Maybe she's got her own agenda.
It just seems like she does. Yeah. Is she durable in any sense? It's not.
Doesn't
really
seem that way.
Yeah.
No, I mean, there's a moment where Frenchie and Marvin Milk, they're talking about her and they're like, does she have any strength or anything like that? I think all soups seem to be durable in some way. Like they can all take a punch.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe, yeah. Just smarts, it seems.
Just smarts.
And she's been brought in. Homelander wants a legacy to leave to his kid because he's getting old.
Yeah.
He's getting grey.
Yeah.
And he wants, and he really hates humanity now, and he wants to leave his son in charge, basically. You know? And so,
but does he really?
No, I don't think he does. I think,
just wants an extension of himself and to live forever.
Do you think well, here's the thing. There's a moment where he's like, I think we should do so much stuff together, so it's like we merge into one person.
Yeah.
Is that foreshadowing that he wants to put his brain in his kid's body?
Maybe.
I think it might be.
It's possible, absolutely. He's doing an Emperor Palpatine style, The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Force dyad.
It wouldn't shock me.
Yeah.
And do you think this will end? Do you think maybe this season or the start of next season will end with Homelander as president?
Oh, maybe. I mean, it's because Vought now is completely superheroes. It's run entirely by superheroes. Mm-hmm. Pushed out the CEO or whoever.
Oh, that reminds me. A couple of weeks ago, you mentioned Giancarlo Esposito was going to be getting a role in Marvel. And you were like, he's going to be Jake Fury. I've not heard that repeated anywhere else.
I saw it somewhere.
Okay.
No, it was a speculation I saw on comicbookmovie.com.
Okay, right.
Yeah, no, that was a speculative thing.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's out.
Yeah, did he die?
Can't remember.
Or did he just walk away?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably got lasered. But odds are he got lasered.
He probably got lasered. But yeah, Vought is now, entirely run by Homelander, it seems.
Mm.
It does seem to be moving towards that. And he's doing rallies and starting riots and
yes, absolutely,
and all that kind of stuff. Jeffrey Dean Morgan's also in this.
He's another Kripke favorite, isn't he?
He is, isn't he? That multiple man guy is a Kripke favorite.
Oh yeah,
as well.
That's right.
Yeah. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is. So what's his deal in this? He wants Ryan basically.
Yeah, he wants to turn Homelander / Butcher's son into a CIA asset.
Yeah,
turn him around because if he is potentially stronger than Homelander.
Yeah.
So if he grows to adulthood under the tutelage of Homelander, he'll become probably the world's greatest murderer.
Yeah, but it's very clearly not going that way. I think that the Butcher and Ryan stuff is good as well. They have a few moments together. Mm-hmm. There's a moment. Butcher can bake, by the way. I thought it was a
he's doing quite well. He wasn't struggling at all. He was having a great time.
Flying through that.
Yeah, right.
I liked all of that. Huey's mum is in this as well.
Yeah.
They also acknowledge that
played by Rosemary DeWitt.
What's she from again?
Standoff.
Well, there you
the TV
go.
series Standoff.
Standoff it
with
is.
Berger from Sex and the City.
Berger? It's interesting they finally acknowledge that Huey is tall.
Oh, yeah, right.
So, he's 6'3", all right?
Yeah.
Because Homelander's not. He's maybe 5'10", maybe.
Right, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Another thing I really liked about this is that pretty much all the saves that you see the superheroes do are lies.
Yeah, absolutely.
None of them are real because they set up Ryan for his first save and it's all very carefully choreographed and they're doing it in public and I just think that's... And A-Train's also talking about a previous terrorist plot that he's thwarted and his brother's like, that didn't happen.
That's right.
That's not a real thing.
Uh-huh.
A-Train's story in this is interesting, actually.
James Rosemary DeWitt is married to Ron Livingston, her co-star on the TV series Standoff, where they play a former couple that breaks up, but they're also crisis hostage negotiators.
I remember that show.
Yeah.
He's also in Milk. Netflix is always trying to push Milk on me.
Is that what it's called?
It's called milk something.
Louder Milk.
Louder Milk.
Yeah.
I don't want louder milk.
Because milk is about the Harvey Milk.
Okay. So even louder than Harvey Milk.
Even louder than Harvey. That's the tagline. This dude's even louder than Harvey Milk. You wouldn't believe it.
But yeah, I like all of that. That the whole like even the they don't do it. They just don't do anything good.
Right. Yeah.
Like at all. Like it's just and when they are in a situation where they have to do something, they always bungle it. They always like laser someone in half or kill a child or something terrible happens. Okay, we were talking about this before the show. There's a penis situation in this, right?
Yeah.
There's a moment where
there's a butthole situation also.
There's also that, yeah. There's a moment where the multiple man multiplies multiple times.
And he is we didn't mention Firecracker as the new kind of she is the Alex Jones, the Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's
the personal beef with Starlight.
She's also the one spreading all the conspiracy theories about all teachers are groomers and all this, and there's secret bases under the Starlight Foundation, and and causing people's brains to melt, etc. So her assistant setup guy is like a multiple man type person.
Yeah. And so,
when he splits into another person, the clothes don't go with him.
No. He's a nude man.
So
he has a big nude fight, among another thing in the sauna. But so they're all nude, right?
Yes.
And it's all him.
Yes.
And I've read this somewhere else and I can't remember the article, but it's basically that most penises you see on TV are fake.
So he'd be wearing some sort of nude underpant type.
Yeah.
And then they get a fake penis and they glue it on.
And I think it's for continuity. Because if you're filming all day,
that's right.
You don't know what you're going to see.
That's so true. Yeah, that's right. Oh, so you don't know this for sure. You just reckon.
I think it's part of it. Yeah. And also, do you really want to stand around nude all day?
You'd get cold.
I mean,
Yeah. I'm looking at the Wikipedia page, and it's got all the various characters, but it doesn't have Giancarlo Esposito in there. So I don't know what happened to that guy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You'd think because he was the CEO for like 2 seasons.
Yeah.
It'll just say he got his head lasered off.
Plays Stan Edgar.
Stan Edgar, sure. Status, alive.
Yeah. Board officially announced that it would be severing its ties. This is season 3. Its ties with Stan Edgar, supposedly appalled by his actions and praising Homeland for his bravery. Vought also announced that it would be conducting a thorough investigation into his actions of whatever the thing is that he did or might not have done. Yeah. It's kind of a waste then, I feel, right?
No, he might come back.
Yeah.
Giancarlo Esposito should get more goofy roles.
Yeah, because he
seems like a real laid-back dude in real life.
Yeah.
Like he's always, like you see him in interviews and he's fun and he's cool and whatever, and then they're like, what if you played a really stoic, sinister man? I guess.
Every time.
Yeah, every time. I mean, it's work, work's work.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Few things that I enjoyed, Mason. There's a Mortal Kombat / Injustice style game.
There is,
which is a lot of fun. It's Lamplighter, who was one of the Ashmores from previous seasons.
One of the Ashmores, that's correct.
And who was the other character? I can't remember. Someone from the 70s.
Yeah, she's like a retired hero.
She's in The Walking Dead as well.
Yeah.
There's a War on Christmas musical on ice.
That's right, yes.
Which turns into a bloodbath.
Yes.
That was a moment where Huey's trying to escape and
so Huey
Homelander's trying to...
Huey wants to... the boys need to get a bug... Victoria Newman's visiting the new Vought on Ice.
Yep.
Spectacular. And the boys know and they want to get in there and bug her meeting. So they
and
know
not like bug her, not like mess around.
No, that's so true. But Homelander shows up as well. And so, of course, he gets wind of the boys being there and he's like, I'm going to laser everybody.
Homelander's got super smell as well.
He's got super smell,
I don't think I knew that prior.
Yeah.
But you'd think that he would be able to catch him
instantly.
I mean, I know A-Train rescued Huey, but Huey's just Simon Pegg, who's Huey's dad, is in hospital. Something happens to him. And
do you think he's really there, or do you think it's the CGI?
I think they filmed a few I think you'll be in it. I think you'll wake up.
Right.
But I think they filmed him a few times, probably over a few days, and they just cut to it every now and then.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, to make sure you know it's Simon Pegg. But then he's just going to the hospital and walking about. Because Homelander, as we've seen from previous seasons, he'd often fly over the city and he would just keep doing laps until he finds who he's looking for. So if I was Huey, I just wouldn't be out and about.
No.
He'd be in a lead box at the bottom of the ocean.
That's exactly right. Oh, speaking of, isn't it? I think about this all the time, but isn't it wild that you're Simon Pegg and you get a role in this show because in the original comic book, Huey's look was based on you.
Yeah.
So when they made the show and Simon Pegg aged out of the role, I guess, or they didn't want, they wanted, or he was busy, or they just wanted to recast. They just went, well, we better get Simon Pegg in this for some reason.
We have to.
And you just get a call and you're like, do you want to show up and get paid to be in a couple of scenes in the show?
Yeah.
We'll fly you over wherever you are. We'll fly you here and do the show.
Do a couple of
Isn't
days.
that crazy?
It is crazy. Do you Huey's Scottish, isn't he? In the comic?
He's Wee Huey. I think he is Scottish.
Yeah, I might be wrong. Yeah, and Butcher's, he's British.
Yeah, he's British. Yeah.
Don't you forget it.
I know from his British
Don't
accent.
forget it.
I know it's because he's British.
But don't forget it.
I won't forget it.
Yeah. I enjoyed, there's a moment where the Deep is eating a bloomin' onion, but then it's got like sauce and he's licking his fingers, but he's got gloves on. I'm just like, I hate that. I hate that.
Amazon gives you little pieces of trivia.
Yeah.
And it said that's an actual bloomin' onion. They went to Outback Steakhouse and they got it on the day.
It was do you think it was a product placement also? I mean, do Amazon even need to do?
I think they just went and
they
got
just
it.
went and got one.
Yeah.
I've also written here, they acknowledge that Huey is tall. But so what do you think's going on? There's a moment where I think I have a theory on this, but please, I want you to say the wrong theory and then I'll say the right theory.
Also, what you're going to say is the water and ice bloodbath.
Oh, yeah.
It just descends into chaos and everybody's like
Jesus is cutting throats.
It became like immediately like a Monty Python kind of sketch where like everybody's cutting everybody's fingers off and kicking ice skates into people's throats and etc.
Yeah.
I think they were like, well, we haven't had a bloodbath yet.
No, absolutely. Are those vents lead lined?
Must be.
They must be.
They must be.
Yeah. So Sister Sage, she's on the couch.
Yes.
And she's eating a bloomin' onion and watching trash television and vegging out. And then
she's the smartest person in the world.
That's right. And then the Deep comes in.
Yes.
And then they get together. They hook it up, Mason, as they say.
Oh, yeah, okay.
They've got the riz for each other.
Oh,
and
that's
mad
not
respect.
what that. No, I don't like any of this. But all right, yep, go ahead.
And then you see on the table there's like a stick. It's got a bunch of blood and goop on it.
My guess would be that Sister Sage killed the Deep's girlfriend, the octopus, played by Tilda Swinton.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's Tilda Swinton.
That's Tilda Swinton.
It's the voice of Tilda Swinton.
That's great stuff.
Yeah.
I think she has a regenerative brain, and as she swizzles her brain at the end of the day.
Oh, to make herself dumber.
To make herself.
That's
it's like
fun.
getting
Okay.
high
That's a great idea.
And switching off.
I'm glad you let me say my dumb theory. Because I guess it wouldn't make sense to kill his octopus girlfriend.
Yeah.
Because that wouldn't bring him on side. But she wants him on side for some reason. So.
Yeah, but I feel like she's going to like come out of this and then be like, obviously not this guy because he wants to watch Transformers too. And
yeah, right.
and
Okay, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
You know, it's switching your brain off.
That's a great theory. That's fun.
I don't know whether that's true.
No, I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah. We talked about the
and when I talked to the people in real life about the boys this week, I'm going to claim that as my own before this episode comes out.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, and even after, because nobody I know in real life listens to this.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Any theories on where this is going to go, Mason?
I reckon it is probably...
You said President Homelander?
I think it's Homelander for president.
Yep.
I think
some Gen V cameos?
Yeah, so Homelander and Firecracker, they have a meeting with Victoria Newman, and their plan is, as architected by Sister Sage, is you get Victoria Newman in as vice president. The president is killed in an accident because you can't kill him.
Yeah.
Because they would just know it's an assassination. They get him killed in some sort of accident.
Yeah.
And she becomes the president. Then she comes out as a soup. And then they dismantle the Department of Superhuman Affairs and they make all these changes that work for them.
Yeah.
And then they, because one of her opponents is like, we're going to take superheroes out of government and out of law enforcement and out of everything. We're going to make them, put them back in the movies or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I think she might push through and maybe even become the president, make all these laws, and then Homelander runs against her.
Yeah.
Like maybe we have a little time jump.
Yeah, sure.
And then it's like, it's legal now for me to run for president. Well, now I'm going to kind of thing. And then he goes on a platform of like, he's the people's champion.
Yeah.
Even though he hates everybody and he wants to murder literally everybody who exists.
Who could that be a parallel of, Mason? Barely even exaggerated. What?
You, a man who hates his audience.
No, Mason. I love all. No, I don't love him.
I don't know.
I like most of our listeners.
That's great. And he means you, the one that's listening right now.
Look, some people consider their listeners family. I don't.
Interesting.
I don't consider that.
Okay. I don't know.
Mad respect for them.
Yeah. So I reckon maybe season 5 is is I reckon they might do jump to season 5. He's just the president.
I think they need to do a time jump because Ryan is aging. So
That's
it's
true,
going to be
yeah.
2 years. So you might be right. Yeah.
So you do Homelander as the president, and his son is becoming the most powerful soup in the world. Now,
a powerful soup.
A very powerful
What
soup.
kind of soup would you consider powerful?
It'd have to be hot.
Yeah,
like
hot, like a spicy soup, or like
like
hot,
hot, like not a gazpacho. That's not a world-ending soup, is it? No, it's got to be hearty as well.
Okay, you got some chunks in it, like maybe a shank soup. Like it's got like a
okay,
shank
sure,
veggie,
okay, right, yeah.
Maybe a pumpkin with a lot of cheese, a grated cheese.
Oh, that's not bad. That's a hearty soup.
Also, you probably do a bread with that, a crusty bread.
That's true. He's dipping, folks. His mom doing a dip.
A dipping motion.
It's a powerful dip.
It's true.
So then you sort of have like the political family together, you know, and then I don't know. Is Homelander dying as well? Do you think?
I think he's just getting up. I think he's just mid-40s.
Okay, sure, because there's a moment where he's had a day and he's just kind of, and his son won't talk to him or whatever, and he's just like, and he's holding his head in his hands. Do you think that's just in his 40s?
I think he's just in his 40s and a man who doesn't love anybody or anything, including himself. That's what And he's never gone to therapy, and he's got everything that he's ever wanted.
And the CIA, I think, or the government at large, they're creating a virus that is ideally going to.
Oh yeah, we saw that in Gen V.
Yeah, so that, but it's not powerful enough to kill him yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know if. Also, we haven't seen a return of Soldier Boy yet.
No,
so we've got a few options, and I think it's either. I don't think it's.
I think that'll be more of a season 5.
Yeah.
But I think we could see him, or they'll at least. I mean, they've already talked about it
because he has the ability now to remove anybody's superpowers.
Yeah, and
seemingly
he's equally strong to Homelander. Maybe, maybe just a little.
But
bit less.
I don't know if you can bring him back to defeat Homelander.
No, I don't think that will be like because they already did a season about that.
Yeah,
so
I mean, look, also some people have suggested maybe the final season is Butcher is the bad guy somehow, but I don't know if we're going to lean towards that. Yeah. If I can imagine the final scene of this show, it is Homelander loses his powers and everybody beats him up. With a crowbar. Yeah, they crowbar his head off.
That's probably very on brand for the comic.
Yeah,
as well.
I don't think I doubt they're going to go with everybody repowers up with temporary V and then there's a big pitched superhero battle. I think it ends with him going to laser them and realize he's lost his powers.
And it'll probably end with a very gory head stomp or
absolutely,
something like that.
Yeah.
Do you think Butcher will die?
Yes.
But not in this season.
No. Because, I mean, where else are they going to go with that? I don't, nobody in this universe has
But Butcher will kill Homelander, right? Like, that's how it's going to go,
right? I think so, yeah. Or Huey kills him.
I don't know. Huey's kind of, he had his thing with A-Train because A-Train killed his girlfriend, but that's kind of.
We haven't really even discussed that. We've got A-Train as he's
a mole.
He's questioning his role in everything, and he's giving information to the boys. So when's he going to die? Or is he going to die?
He will. I don't think he'll make it out. I think there's a bunch of people that aren't going to make it out. They haven't killed somebody major in a while, I feel.
Oh, so somebody's got to go, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe Frenchie, who's
maybe
in love
Melvin
now.
Milk.
Maybe, I would hate that. Maybe Kimiko. She's kind of invincible, but that would be, I guess, the kind of.
Well, that's the thing, because she seems even more invincible than she was in previous seasons. In this, at the start of this season, she loses an arm and it grows back
immediately.
It starts growing back immediately.
Yeah, I didn't know she.
I thought there was going to be a long reveal where, like, you think she's crippled for life, but then later in the episode she's growing the arm back or whatever. But it's like no seconds later.
Also, her sister's in this or something. It seems, or somebody she knows from childhood.
Yeah. But is that a fake out? If you're like, well, she's more invincible than ever before.
Yeah.
And then
exactly.
She dies,
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Tricky, isn't it?
Yeah. I like the relationship she has with Frenchie as well.
Me too.
They're a fun little pair. But he's got his own situation going on.
That's true.
Kill that guy's family or whatever. Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway, let us know, I guess, what you think if you want to.
Okay, yeah.
And we'll come back at the end and we'll do a big recap review.
That's right, yes.
Yeah. All righty. Should we move it along?
Let's move it along.
But what are we going to talk about?
What we're reading.
I'm always stuck for things.
What we're reading.
Yeah.
Then what we're going to read.
Actually, we've built the structure of this show, so we always have something to jump to.
That's correct.
Because some podcasts, they just spin their wheels until it just sputters out, but not us.
Not us. We keep it going, then one of us slips up, and then it's like, ding, cut.
I can't bloody work like this.
All the walls move, you know.
Yep.
We're dressed as Errol Flynn. We're both dressed as Errol Flynn.
I'm doing the thing. What are we reading today? First things first.
Oh,
I'm a realist. So
You're a realist. Yeah. Do you think that's the lyrics of that song?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you not think that's the lyrics?
Okay.
This song I know better than any song in the world. You're not going to question me on this song of all songs.
Right.
You're not going to question
Iggy
me.
Azalea comes out on stage every night when she does a gig and she goes, first things first, I'm a realist. Get a good job, get an education, and get secure. And then if you want to do some, maybe do some artistic things on the side and you can,
Yeah, exactly.
But just be like me, be a realist.
It's a beautiful lesson.
That's true.
As mentioned, my wife Claire Tonti is away.
That's
She's
right.
on tour again in the UK. There's a bunch of shows. If you go to clairetonti.com/events, you can check it out. A bunch of these are already sold out.
Did she get ClaireTonti.com?
Yeah.
Wow, good for her.
I know. I should have got it. It sold it to her. She's in Dublin at the moment. By the time you hear this, she'll be out of there.
She'll be chased out of town.
Yeah.
Torches and pitchforks.
But if you are in the UK and you're interested in going along, there's something in Abergavenny. There's another thing in another place. Last year, there was like a big push or whatever but here's the numbers now.
Nice.
Where I don't have to, really hammer it
I don't
home.
think you even have to name the places. I reckon if you're anywhere within 5,000 miles, you should simply buy tickets and go there.
Exactly.
Even if you don't live near there.
Yeah, you don't need to.
That's right.
Yeah. Love all of that.
Yeah. Look, I haven't watched a darn thing or read a darn thing.
Oh, yeah?
But I'm just looking at my list of stuff that I got to get through.
Yeah.
Before.
Okay.
The end
For
time.
what?
But
You've got Sin City 2 at the top of
That's
your
true.
list.
That's true. But number 2, have you seen any of The Sympathizer?
Which one's that?
Which is the Park Chan-wook series. It's a mini-series. It's got Robert Downey Jr. in it.
Oh, yeah.
Playing a
People
bunch
are
of
talking
roles.
about that.
It looked cool.
People
but I
either
just-
love Robert Downey Jr. in that or he's really distracting.
Interesting. Okay, right.
Because he plays 19 people.
Yeah, he plays different people.
With different prosthetic
I guess my
teeth.
assumption was that he was playing an FBI guy or a CIA guy in different wigs.
yeah.
But he's different people.
He's different man. Yeah.
But people
he's
out there,
Robert different.
let me know if that's a good show.
And first
is
things
it an
first,
entertaining show?
We're both realists here. We want a real something.
Yeah, but I've
What is the actual lyrics to that?
First things first, I'm the realist.
I'm a realist.
No. No, it's different. They're different words.
No.
Okay.
So,
I've been pretty busy. We watched the movie Kick-Ass to talk about Caravan of Garbage. I went to watch Kick-Ass 2. I watched Kick-Ass on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, Kick-Ass 2 is here.
Kick-Ass
I'll watch
2.
a little bit of Kick-Ass 2. It's just Kick-Ass 1 again.
On
Amazon, you just click it and it's just Kick-Ass 1 again.
But you already saw that one.
And I'm like, wow, this starts quite the same.
Yeah, this feels similar.
Is this a clever callback to looks like it's starting the same, but then it's just Kick-Ass 1 again. I don't know what's happening
clever.
there.
It's not
I don't know.
callback.
Apparently, have you ever noticed if you go on Amazon Prime, there's just a lot of garbage on it.
Yeah.
Apparently, anybody can upload on there.
Oh, really? So it's like YouTube.
It's kind of like a YouTube kind of situation. So a lot of people are like,
Oh my God.
they're uploading stuff they don't have the copyright for.
We should do that.
Yeah.
I won't.
Yeah.
know.
Somebody pointed out that there's a version of 12 Angry Men on there, but they've done an AI thumbnail, so there's like 19 computer-generated men in the thumbnail for 12 Angry Men.
AI-generated men. God, what would that look like? I mean, that thumbnail.
Yeah.
I
mean, if it's men in the 60s,
Yeah.
the same.
I watched episode 3 of The Acolyte.
Oh, yeah.
Which I didn't mind because it delves into a bit of the past. I'm not going to spoil it.
Okay.
But
After last week, where
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm really interested in this. I'm definitely going to catch up. I haven't caught up yet.
It's like, oh, the Jedi are bad. And if anybody else is like, we want to use the Force, they're like, no, can't do it. Also, there's a Wookiee with a partially shaved head, which is very unpleasant. But what I have been
Because of an accident, or they just think
No,
it's cool?
it's like a top-notch situation.
Oh,
I don't know why.
'cause they're
you
a
would do
Jedi?
it. Yeah, it sucks.
Whoa.
Don't do that. So I'm reading. I ordered this. Maybe even from his website.
He's got a prop, folks.
It's
got a prop.
It's a book called Replay, Memoir of an Uprooted Family. It's by Jordan Mechner.
Okay, so it's not about video games.
No, it is kind of about video games.
Then
So
I'm back interested again.
Jordan Mechner.
Is it about Doom?
No,
It's
not
about
at
Doom
all.
in the Dark
It's not
Ages,
about
the prequel?
Doom in any way, Mason. It's about Jordan Mechner.
Do you know for sure if there's any mentions of Doom?
I don't know that for sure. I'm
That's
not all the
right.
way through it.
Has it got an index? I'll have a look.
Don't get your greasy hands too much on it, Mason.
Too late.
That's worth a lot of money.
Too late.
So Jordan Mechner created the original Prince of Persia.
Oh.
And then, of course, he worked on Prince of Persia 2, took a fair bit of a break, came back for the Sands of Time. And but he's not just a video game dude.
Let me tell you this, James.
Yeah.
You handed this to me as if it were a book. It isn't a book.
I didn't hand it to you like anything.
You handed it to me as if you handed it to me with the delicate hand of a man who's handing another man a book. With mad respect.
I just have delicate hands.
And it's not a book, it's a graphic novel.
I didn't say it wasn't a graphic novel.
You didn't say it was, though.
So it's basically
a lie by omission.
A look at, it's basically runs in 3 timelines.
Mm-hmm.
It's his family escaping the Nazis in World War II and trying to make their way to the US. It's him developing Prince of Persia in the 80s and up from there. Yeah. And it's also him from like 2015. He's on a new Prince of Persia project and his kind of relationship is kind of on the rocks and he's got adult kids. And so it explores that.
Yeah, right.
Those 3 time periods. It's really interesting. I mean, I love like the story behind Prince of Persia. Like I love watching interviews of him talking about how he made it and all of that. And this delves into all of that. Like he rotoscoped his brother doing all that.
I was going to say, is there any rotoscoping?
There's so much of rotoscoping in this, Mason.
Yeah, right.
I just find him a really fascinating individual and like as a creative person, like his process and his doubts and the fact that he even put this together as also like this historical document of not only his life but his family and his father and grandparents. I really like it. So it's called Replay Memoir of an Uprooted Family. There's shades of Mouse in it, I guess. Okay. Because Mouse is about escaping the Nazis.
That's true.
But I would say that's
Did anybody in Mouse then go to create Prince of Persia?
One of them
think
might.
So.
Yeah,
maybe they created Conker's Bad Fur Day.
They made Mouse of Persia, which that's the in-universe version of. Look,
not
it's not
Prince of Mouse, yeah?
No.
Interesting.
Did I stutter?
You did a little bit, yeah.
But sometimes also,
you have in your life many times.
Yeah. It's not really like Mouse. It's just, I guess, if there was a comparison, it's sort of that. But no, not really, because also Mouse is very grim.
It is true.
But anyway, I would say check it out.
I will.
If you are a fan or a passing fan. You can borrow this after I read it.
Interesting.
I hate it when you get a hardcover and it gives the covers on it, and then it arrived and it's already a bit frayed at the top.
Yeah.
You don't want to give me a fresh one? Where have I got this from? It's probably the post.
You a fresh one?
Don't give me a fresh one. I'll give you a fresh one, and it won't be with mad respect. I'll tell you that much.
Wow. Okay, slap fight later, folks. Okay.
Should we move it along?
I think we should move it along to the letters section. Here it is. Here's the theme to letters.
The classic one was letters, oh letters, we love you. Some letters, they're only a day away. You know they're here right now. We're going to do letters.
Yeah, man. We love doing some letters, don't we?
I do love doing letters, I tell you that much.
What do you like about letters?
I love reading the letters.
Oh, yeah?
I love choosing a letter.
Oh, yeah?
I love presenting the letter to you, the listener.
Where do you get your letters from?
My letterbox.
Yeah, but like how...
But I don't tell the listeners where my letterbox is, so they can send a letter in the form of an email to weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com.
Or they might want to send a tweet to #weeklyplanetpod.
That's correct. We'll see.
Twitter.
Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Here's an email from Jeremy.
Jeremy?
Hi, James and Mason. Jeremy, hold it.
First things first, Jeremy's a realist.
That's right. It's that Pearl Jam, Iggy Azalea mashup we've always wanted.
Absolutely.
And we've done it.
And we've done it finally.
You thought we could only do that with the magic of AI, but James did it.
I did it already.
That's right.
I actually did it before the show.
Anyway, Jeremy says, I'm a relatively new listener since finding and binging every Caravan of Garbage on YouTube and have since subscribed to Big Sandwich.
Sick.
It's a lot of content.
By the way, we did a book club on Old Man Logan, which is going out this week.
Right.
And next week we did a Let's Play on the X-Men arcade game, which I finally got working.
That's right.
About 10 minutes before we recorded it.
It was a miracle.
And it worked somehow.
It was a Christmas miracle. Jeremy says, I just thought you might be interested to know that your movie commentaries, specifically Multiverse of Madness, which I worked on, and most recently the Star Wars prequels, have been my audio inspiration when I've really had to crunch through a hard deadline during my storyboarding work on the new MCU Fantastic Four movie.
Oh, tell us more about that.
Yeah. He says, I find the cadence of your conversation while the movie plays quietly in the background to be quite good for my productivity.
Sick.
So when you eventually see the new FF film, you can claim a tiny piece of it for your own.
Tell us.
Cheers.
Tell us the whole story now.
P.S. I'm dying to find out what you think of Deadpool and Wolverine. Pretty much a dream gig for me.
Oh, wow.
There you go. Good work, Jeremy.
I'm excited for that.
I mean, it's very exciting just the fact that the MCU still has storyboarders.
Yeah, I know.
And it's not just a picture of some executives pointing at the director going, we'll do it later.
Yeah.
We'll do it later.
That's super cool.
Now, I imagine Jeremy's under all sorts of NDAs and so forth.
Yeah.
So we won't ask him to send us all his storyboards for the Fantastic Four movie.
And a costume.
If you can find, costume. Yeah. I mean, we would never ask you to go.
I want the one from the
find
from
a
the
pretense.
2000s.
Find a pretense to go to the set and be like,
yeah.
Well, you have what we'd never suggest to you. We need you to storyboard a scene where the new Fantastic Four go into the previous Fantastic Four dimension and they steal the Thing's old underpants.
Yeah.
And so they have to be on set, and then you figure out a pretense to go on the set. Oh, I need to do some storyboarding.
You come in
live.
hurried and you're like, the boss told me I need the Thing's underpants.
Yeah, exactly. And then you take the Thing's underpants and then you send us the Thing's underpants.
Yeah.
We'd never ask you to do that.
No.
But we're assuming you're doing it.
You have to do it.
You have to do that now.
This is where Man to Man, who's always wonderful on the X. That's what I call Twitter.
Nice.
Hashtag Weekly Planner Pod. Ahoy and Heidi Home mates. If you were given $500 right now to spend on anything at all that you would like, what would you spend it on or buy? I have mine. I'm ready.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, you go first then.
Foosball table. I think I'm going to get one.
Is that what
I've
they
been
cost?
talking about, I don't know. I've been talking about arcade cabinets.
I guess a foosball table is like whatever you're willing to pay.
Exactly.
The foosball table seems like one of those things where if you can take it, they'll let you have it.
Yep.
Check Facebook Marketplace if there's a foosball table.
Yeah, they're like, I'm seeing some.
Are you saying that because
they're well, a lot of these are well under 500.
Butcher and Ryan play a game of foosball in The Boys?
Look, I was thinking about, because we've got the studio space. We've got this room that we record in, and next to it, there's like a bigger space.
Yeah.
And there's nothing in it. I've never done anything with it.
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
basically stores things that I'm not currently using and
right.
whatever. There's a bunch of lamps that Claire had for something. And I would like to turn it into something, but I don't want a row of arcades. I mean, I do.
Yeah, right.
I shouldn't.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think foosball, so this is before The Boys even.
Yeah.
I was like, I think my kids would love it as well.
They would like it, yeah.
Foosball, yeah. And
I
not
think
a mini one.
At least one of them would need a little chair, I think.
Yeah,
to
one of them
stand
would
on.
need a little chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, you, but I got him.
Ah.
To sit down, because you're so old.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. And I'd sub in your other kid to play for. I'd be like, I nominate a champion. That's you. And you can play, and I'll be on my phone. Thank you. Oh, $500.
Yeah.
Just because that's the thing as well. Like it's
You got a PS5? Put it
don't-
towards that?
Oh yeah, I don't have a PS5.
An
But
Xbox
that's putting
One?
it towards. That's not. You know what? Just I would go to one of those restaurants that because
Yeah, they're all over 500.
like so money wise.
Money is no object.
Yeah, I
In
know.
this case, it's $500.
It's $500. But like, if somebody was like, hey, do you want to go to this restaurant? It's $500. I'd be like, that's an awful lot of money.
It's too
But if
much.
somebody's like, here's $500 and you got to spend it now.
It's different,
What if
yeah.
I went to a fancy, like a seafood restaurant?
Yeah.
Like a lobster dinner.
Aren't
or
you on a
something?
seafood diet, Mason?
Yes, I eat exclusively seafood.
Very good. We got one of those like years ago. I think it was like a wedding gift or something.
Yeah.
And I went to one of those fancy ones and it was up in a tower. And I do like a good restaurant, but this was like too far. And I
Right.
didn't like it.
Yeah.
Like it was a lot of like they'd bring out a thing and then they're like, okay, so we got you the specialty. It costs $90 or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, but you got to let it sit for exactly 1 minute and 33
Oh no, that's
seconds.
too much.
It's like, what are you
no,
doing?
see, that's the thing because I don't want the absolute last thing I want in the world ever is for anybody to make a fuss over me.
That's what it felt
so
like,
what I
yeah.
want is I want a restaurant where it's like expensive stuff, but they just and seafood is that because it's just like here you
throw
go.
it down.
It's just like here's a lobster.
Yeah.
Here's a lobster and a bib and a thing to crack the claws open.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. And it's like here's an entire container of butter.
Yeah.
And you just dump the butter on and then you just eat a lobster.
You go,
know?
yum, yum, yum. And
That's
you
what I would
put the butter container on your head like a hat.
Exactly.
A
That's
greasy
right.
hat.
That's exactly right. That's what I
Yeah.
would do, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if there'd be any change left over because these restaurants, like there's a few like in Melbourne and they're so expensive.
Yeah.
They're like, you want to buy a gift certificate? These gift certificates are 50% off. They're
I feel like the people who go there,
$500.
it's just exclusively gift certificates.
Yeah, no,
because I think the
exactly,
food
yeah.
isn't good enough to be like, yeah, I'll just pop in
That's
for
what I'm
this.
talking about, yeah.
Yeah, the one that we went to was like, they started off with like really buttery bread. And then it went from there and everything was so buttery. We got to like course 3 or 4 and there was like 9.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, we're just getting started. And I was like, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I was like, and then they're like, on the way out, he's like, do you want a tour? And I'm like, not really.
Yeah.
But like, we did it and the guy's like, this chair, it's like kangaroos. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I want to.
Oh, one of the courses was looking at a chair. Wow.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I would ever spend that amount of money on like dinner. But if it was like, well, you got to spend this now.
Yeah.
I'd be like, well, all right.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna because I do lobster and then I do like.
A second lobster.
Oh my god, I would do lobster and then I would do like popcorn shrimp and I would do all sorts of stuff.
Did you do a rock lobster?
Some people don't like that sort of seafood or they're allergic, and I say I pity you.
Just get over it.
Just get over your allergy.
Yeah, it's
to
easy.
seafood.
It's
And just
easy.
keep eating it.
What else you got, Mason?
Get an EpiPen ready.
Exactly.
Ooh, James.
Ooh.
Speaking of the thing you said,
Jordan Mechner.
this is from Alex. Prince of Persia remake coming.
Yes.
Hi, James and Meso. James will be pleased to hear that Ubisoft announced a video game remake of Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. You knew that.
I did.
This got me wondering, what video game franchise do you wish would be brought back? Alex says, my choice would be either Star Fox or Bomberman.
I would love to see another Star Fox or
Right?
Star Wing, as it was known in Australia, or Lilat Wars on the Nintendo 64 for some reason.
That's right.
Oh, there hasn't been a Star Fox game in fucking forever.
That's true, yeah.
I want a Donkey Kong 3D style Mario game.
Right, okay, yep.
You know, like Donkey Kong 64,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Super
yeah,
Mario
yeah, yeah.
Wonder, not Wonder,
Yeah.
whatever that big environment one was.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of my remake wishes have come true because there was a new Monkey Island game.
That's true.
Which I played and I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Had some weird divorce vibes going on in it.
Sure.
And I think there was intended to be a divorce subplot. They got rid of it.
That's fun.
If anybody has an insider knowledge, let me know.
Let us know. I wanted a Shadow of the Colossus thing, and they did it.
Do you remember, in the era of the Doom clones,
Yeah.
there was Heretic and Hexen.
I remember Heretic
which
and
were like
Hexen.
Doom but magic.
But you had a stick that shot magic.
Exactly. Maybe a Heretic remake.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Are they doing Quake? I feel like they're doing something with Quake at the moment.
Yeah, I think
aren't
they might be, but also I kind of feel like Doom checks all the boxes.
Yeah,
like it's the
totally.
premier thing, and if they go, because Quake was sort of like Doom, but
3D.
HP Lovecraftian horror
3D
kind of
stuff
thing.
too.
Exactly, 3D stuff too. And I think they're like, well, people liked Quake, but also if we just do Doom, but it's sort of medieval and sort of magic,
Yeah.
checks all the boxes kind of thing.
Oh, I figured it out. Jedi Knight 2. Dark Forces 2, Jedi Knight. They just
Right.
did Dark Forces.
Yeah, yeah,
I love
yeah.
that game. It's one of my favorite games.
Yeah.
Keep all the FMV stuff, maybe
Yeah.
jazzed up a little. Slicker graphics slightly.
Yeah.
Keep it the same. Love it. Love that game.
Obviously, and this will never happen because they've fallen down the live service well, but I would love to see another Batman Arkham game that is in the style of Arkham
God,
Asylum, which is just the self-contained, and you don't have to run all over the city. It's just kind of, it's in a small location, and it's kind of
There is a new one coming, but it's
it?
a VR experience.
I'm not
on
getting
Meta
that.
or
I
whatever.
don't want to do that.
You have to do
I
it.
don't want to do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it either.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy they're doing Prince of Persia. So that was starting as pretty much like a reskin. And then they
Yeah.
dumped the entire team.
Right.
And they basically restarted it. And now it's out in 2026. And it's a complete remake a la Resident Evil 4, etc.
Hmm.
And I love that game. And I really hope that's good. Like I'm constantly tempted to go back and play that game because I love it so much. It's just all I want to do. Including reading this book by Jordan Mechner, which I'm and I'm also playing the new Prince of Persia, not the roguelite one, the other one at the moment. Is that it?
I've got another email.
I got another one here too.
Oh, you go first.
From Josh.
I don't
Rickle.
mind.
Okay, you don't mind? Who
No.
says, we're talking about aliens and aliens. James said the aliens smell acidic, so probably like bleach, but bleach is actually an alkaline, so aliens probably smell like a tomato.
Oh,
Take a
yeah,
look at
okay,
my
right,
report.
right, okay.
It's probably true.
Yeah.
Acid doesn't smell like a tomato.
Marines, order up. There's tomatoes. I smell tomatoes.
Smell tomatoes.
Get out of there. Game over, man. I smell tomatoes.
Ripley, I smell tomatoes. What do you think?
That's right.
Yeah, that's the alien, I reckon.
You sure it's not the Killer Tomatoes from the movie Attack of the Killer Tomatoes?
Could be.
Could be.
Got another one, Mason?
Here's one more email. This is from Chaz.
Chaz.
And this is a very bold subject line. Star Wars burnout and how Disney can fix it.
Whoa, here we go.
What's up, dudes?
I don't have 50 minutes, Mason.
Chaz here, first time, long time, was enjoying a cold adult beverage with a girlfriend and came to a realization as to how Disney can fix Star Wars. Well, again,
Is it
bold.
stop for a while?
It's easy. Keep making numbered trilogies, maybe one every 15 years, and put everything else into an all-encompassing Game of Thrones style epic series. Most people don't have time for the content meal that has become Disney on Star Wars. Do we really need a whole book of Boba Fett and countless sub-series delving into the minutiae of a galaxy far, far away? No, just put it in one show that jumps around the galaxy. Let me know what you guys think.
Yep, sounds right to me. Have
reckon?
one thing going. But my opinion is also just stop. Just stop for a while.
Stop for a while,
Let
yeah.
people miss it. Let kids
Yeah.
grow up, next generation, and then you go again. That's how you do it.
So you're expecting the bloody bean counters to just stop for a generation, James?
Yeah, I am expecting
pretty
that.
cool.
Knowing that it's never going to happen. It'll happen if they're forced into it, but otherwise it's
Forced
not gonna.
into it.
Very good. Again, it's like the Warner Brothers Harry Potter thing. The whole it's not just that. There's a whole machine behind this.
This email also reminded me. I don't know. I mean, because Star Wars is sort of based entirely on minutiae.
Yeah.
You know, it's this idea of like everybody has a complicated backstory that you don't see.
Yeah.
There was a thread on Twitter this week. You might know it as X.
I do.
Where somebody said, "What's your favorite piece of like weird minutia lore that's canon, but like
Oh, yeah.
And the one I saw, I didn't know this, but if you're not a huge Star Wars fan, or even if you are, you may not know that if anybody's ever asked a question about anything that's happened in a Star Wars movie or TV series or anything like why did the person do this or why did this happen or what have you, it's somebody's written a background for it.
Yeah.
It's like, why did this droid, there's the famous one in A New Hope where they reveal, there's Uncle Owen's going to buy a particular droid and then it blows up.
Yeah.
So they get R2-D2 again. And the reveal is that droid was like a hero droid that sacrificed himself so that R2-D2 could meet up with Luke and save the galaxy.
And there's another version where he's a Jedi. There's two.
Yeah.
But yes, you're right.
So the one I learned recently is that
It's not just a bad droid that blew up.
That's right.
Yeah.
In Revenge of the Sith, there's the scene where Mace Windu and his mates Windu, they go to arrest Palpatine.
Yeah.
And then Palpatine immediately kills everybody but Mace.
Yeah.
And then they have a big lightsaber battle. And apparently the reason that happened because Palpatine put a riddle in all their heads using the Force, and all of the other Jedi except Mace Windu paused to solve the riddle. And that's why he could kill them all so easily.
And Mace Windu was just like, no,
I'm not interested in this. So
what was the riddle?
I don't know, just a complicated riddle.
Wow.
It might have been, does Marcellus Wallace look like a bitch? And he doesn't. Samuel L. Jackson knows the answer to that. He didn't have to think about it. But
I do like canonically that the Mace Windu character is just like, fuck off with that.
But I like the idea that somebody went, oh, how could Palpatine, even if he's a Sith, I mean, if you check their relative power levels, how could actually Palpatine defeat 3 Jedi at once? He couldn't do it, obviously. So, well, he made a riddle. Oh, well, that's okay then.
I just assumed they didn't expect him to fucking leap out of the chair.
Yeah, like a feral cat.
I've never seen him do that.
Yeah.
They've never fought anything like that.
No, that's right.
That's so funny.
Probably why. But yeah, no, that's and again, a lot of these things I assume have changed as the continuity has changed, etc. And maybe that's just in a novelization or something, but it's there.
That's fun.
It's there, baby.
I just got this one from Alex on Twitter who says, thanks for the years of entertainment, man. Once Comictorian passed, I realized people don't get the props until they're gone. Much love. That's a very kind thing to say.
That's nice.
And thank you for sending that in.
Yes.
I think, though, that is the show.
That is the whole show, folks. Thank you so much for listening. We absolutely appreciate it. Thank you for telling your
They're
friends.
like family to us, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah. More than family.
More than family.
Listeners.
Double.
I think that's more than family in a
agree.
way. Listeners who bump up those numbers, baby.
I probably spend more time doing this than with not my immediate family, but like my...
And do your family bump up those numbers? You got a lot of family. You got a couple of brothers and a lot of in-laws and stuff.
None of my extended family.
No, they don't bump up the numbers, do they?
Yeah, they could.
They're anti-listeners of anything.
Mate, I could just go through that list
imagine if
cross them off.
Imagine if hypothetically, like your sister-in-law was at a dinner party.
Yeah.
And somebody said, "Oh, I listen to I'm thinking about getting into podcasts."
Oh yeah, what are you?
Would they recommend our podcast?
They might.
I don't know.
They probably recommend it the way I'd recommend it in person when I'm like, you wouldn't like it, don't worry about it.
Interesting.
Which is how I recommend the show in real life.
Okay.
Genuinely.
Oh, that's okay. All right then.
I don't think I've ever created a fan in real life.
Interesting.
Genuinely.
If anything, we've put people off.
Yeah, probably.
Sometimes people come up and they'll go, "Oh, you do the Mr. Sunday Movies videos," and I'm like, "What's it to you?
What's it to
you? Want to fight?" I was going to say it's good. Well,
do you want to fight?
Do you want to fight though? Anyway, thanks for listening, folks.
You like family?
You like family, but better. But better. Thank you for telling your friends about the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for leaving a 5-star review on your podcast catcher of choice. You can probably do it in app, I reckon. Because if you do, James will read a review.
Got a couple of this from Coach Z817. He says, great podcast.
That's a Homestar Runner reference.
I agree. A great podcast about movies and comics and TV shows where I think one or both of the hosts has a slight crush on animated animals and they constantly dabbing and obviously watching Red Notice on repeat. One of those things is not true for me.
Yeah.
And this one's from the Outer Juicer. He says, good job. Love the pro-labor, anti-billionaire talk. The movie news is whatever. Thank you for keeping me distracted while I work 12 hours delivering mail and hundreds of Amazon packages. 5 stars. Good for you. Bloody, that's hard work, man.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. Sometimes we get people who say the opposite things. They send us messages.
That's true,
We're like, don't be mean to billionaires.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm invested in this for some reason.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm also delivering packages, but I love my boss for some reason is what they say. Yeah.
Or even people who don't employ me and do active bad stuff.
That's right.
Anyway, continue.
Folks, thank you so much. I'll tell you one thing.
What do you want to tell me?
I'll tell you this. If you want to get in contact with the show, you can go to weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com. You can go to the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates Facebook group or the Weekly Planet Podcast subreddit and Discord for fun civil chats about podcasts and pop culture. We have a lot of fun over there. Thank you to Fidel and Sarabi and Maisie for keeping everything in tip-top shape over there. And
how do they do it?
I don't know. And doing TikToks and Clips channels and all
You don't want to have
stuff.
a guess?
They probably work really hard and they think
probably will.
about stuff.
Yeah, that's
They
good.
think about it.
Wow.
And they take an action based on that thought, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon. You're right.
Yeah. If you want to follow some people on the socials, first follow our friend Rob Collins. He's at Raw Collins on Twitter. He's at The Weekly Planet on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at Wikipedia Brown and on Instagram at Nick Maso. James is Mr. Sunday Movies everywhere. If you want to support the show, you go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies. You can chuck in a buck or an amount you wouldn't miss. That's the key.
We don't mind.
Yeah, that's right. We'll take you. We'll take your loose
We
change.
love taking your money.
We love taking your loose change. That's right.
No, only if you can afford it, obviously.
That's exactly
it's totally
right.
up to you.
But if you're a big spender, bigsandwich.co, sign up for $9 per month bonus podcast, movie commentaries, early videos, video game let's plays, as you mentioned. We've got a book club. We got that X-Men arcade play.
It's coming up, man.
Let's play.
It's a fun one to go through.
It is a fun one. Yeah. It's not as good as Captain America and the Avengers.
And I got it
I'll say
running. I don't think I could stress that enough.
Congratulations.
That's how long
That's
it took.
right.
Mate. Help from the great mates. Is
Exactly.
The whole thing, yeah.
Better than family.
Better
None
than
of your family fixed the X-Men arcade game,
You
did
ain't
they? for you?
fucking wrong,
Yeah, that's
brother,
right.
who I have
Yeah.
mad respect for.
Thank you. I'm glad we brought it back to mad respect and having mad respect.
Which we do.
That's true.
Yeah. Anyway, go on.
Let me think. Thank you to Boot and the Basilisk and Rackham for all the musical themes. If you want a t-shirt, you go to tpublic.com. You search for The Weekly Planet.
Oh, yeah.
That's the whole show. What's next week? A movie? A big-time movie? We could go see Bad Boys, fourth
Maybe
Bad
we
Boys.
should. I mean, it's doing really well.
Yeah, it's by the guys who did Batgirl,
Yep.
which people liked.
I just find...
I saw some behind-the-scenes stuff, and Will Smith's
He's
wearing
got
a
the gun
rig.
and whatever.
He's got
I
a
know.
rig, and it's,
Does that mean
he's
I got to
doing
watch the other ones?
POV shots? You should.
Bad Boys.
Couple of Bad Boys.
What's coming out?
I think you should watch every Bad Boy. With your wife away and you looking after two kids, I think you should also watch all the Bad Boys movies.
Listen, why would you say it? Do I have to watch Bad Boys 2 again? That's the one I have seen. And do I have to watch the first 10 minutes of Bad Boys 3?
Yeah, all
Which
of
I
those.
already started.
I think you should watch Bad Boys 2 again to get a refresher course on Bad Boys 2.
I want to get a refresher course.
Too bad.
Too bad, boys.
Too bad, boys.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be that or a show or something because the week after that is A Quiet Place, which we'll be looking at. But That's
right.
We'll figure something out.
We'll figure it out.
All right, thanks, everyone.
Grab that gem, you guys. We'll see you next week. Mad respect to
Mad
everybody.
respect.
Mad respect.
And that goes both ways.
That's exactly
Better.
That's right.
All right, goodbye.
Bye.